There's a lot of things that I think are just weird that I've noticed since I've like moved out to the States.
Like what?
Bacon and syrup shouldn't be on the same plate.
Why not? Do you know about any training, like fitness stuff in Asia?
Quite often we'd be walking along the street and people look at you like muscles, or you gym. You gym.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. You gym, you muscles. I'm like, no, not gym, jacked.
Jacked.
I try to coach more people about their habits.
What are some of these habits that you're coaching them on?
Dude, sleep.
Sleep.
People think they can go to bed at 12 o'clock and then wake up at 6 and do it all over again. It's like, oh, I'm fine. I feel great.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but you're taking years off your life. Like,
Sure.
it does a lot for you. I highly recommend, like, doing nasal breathing a lot. Like, if you can do it, it's so good.
Oh, for sure. What do you think is the future of this, like, Bellfest, of this kettlebell community? Like, I've just heard about it recently, but it hasn't been around that long.
International, worldwide. I have this hatred of... Once upon a time, I got given this Mexican candy.
Mexican candy.
Yeah, it was like mango lollipop. I was
Yeah.
like, oh, fuck it, I'll have one.
I love those.
Yeah, until you get to the inside.
What's wrong with the inside?
It's fucking chili and all like... Dude, it's the worst thing ever. That
Some
is
people love it.
Yeah, Mexicans.
Yeah.
But-
No, there's a lot of white girls who love it too.
No, so yeah, there's a lot of things that I think are just weird that I've noticed since I've like moved out to the States.
Like what?
Bacon and syrup shouldn't be on the same plate.
Why not?
Likewise, bacon on a donut.
So for cocktails, I made this drink called Breakfast Old Fashioned. And you make maple syrup,
Yeah,
bacon-infused bourbon,
lost me.
coffee bitters. No?
I mean, no, I'm not a whiskey drinker, so
Okay.
it was definitely not happening. But I like the idea
Why,
of it.
why doesn't bacon and maple syrup like on the same plate?
I just don't think
do
you
it for
should have like salty and sweet on the same plate.
like
at all. One after the
sweet
other.
and savory. It's amazing. Like
No,
have you?
As soon as I've had like any form of dessert, like I can't go backwards. I feel like. You know
For
what I mean?
sure.
Yeah.
But you can't do it together.
No, definitely not.
Oh, why
And
not?
This is super weird.
What was it like in England?
Just not that.
Not that.
It
Like
progressively just gets sweeter.
what was dinners like or lunches like in England?
Well, I mean, it'd be a different question if you asked me in terms of what they were like in terms of when you talk about it in the past tense of like being when I was back there as an 18-year-old and before that. As different packed lunches, but now I really
do you guys
enjoy...
have eggs and bacon there too?
Yeah,
Okay.
of course. In fact, now I enjoy food more when I go home. Just because I think I just enjoy good food more. I feel like I did used to.
You think it's better food over there?
No.
But I feel like we live in an
I just
area
miss
where
it.
there's so many
So many options here.
good food.
But you know I just came back from Asia.
Yeah, good options there.
I mean, without highlighting the fact that it was unbelievably cheap, like filthy cheap.
Like what's filthy cheap? Couple dollars?
So my wife and I were in Bangkok, round the corner from Khao Son Road. She'll laugh about this. Have you seen that movie, The Beach, with Leonardo DiCaprio?
No.
It's worth a watch.
Okay.
He's down this super busy high street. Anyway, we were one block behind it. So that's quite a famous spot. This is just one little place behind it. And I think it was called like Love Thai Food. Like white banner, black, big red heart, Love Thai. Went, sat down. I think she had pad thai. I had cashew nut chicken. Then we shared like chicken skewers, spring rolls, and we had mango sticky rice, which is amazing.
So good.
So good. And a drink each. And the whole thing was like $6.50, $7.
Really?
Yeah.
So you ate like kings and queens.
Yeah. Oh, it was
So the
unbelievable.
biggest expense.
Tip them like $4.
Yeah. And so they're like, oh my God, this is amazing.
So we went back again the next night. Like,
What do you think the
essentially on the
living
street.
is of that though? Over there. Do you have any idea? Like, is their rent like $100?
I mean, we actually looked it up. So the first place we stayed when we went to Vietnam in Hanoi, we like looked up because we stayed in a somewhat fancy hotel, you know, $65 a night. Or something
Wow.
Like that. Yeah.
I mean, that's a lot over there from what you compared to food is.
Totally. But I mean, it was the first experience that we'd had as soon as we'd landed, like with any Vietnamese people, Asian people, like in the heart of Southeast Asia. So like just to kind of understand the vibe and what was going on and things like that, they were like so welcoming, super appreciative. And so we looked at what the like average wage for or the salary for a bellboy at one of the hotels like would be, and then like so we could like figure out a rough idea of tipping. And you realize that like $4 is unbelievable. You're like, whoa, okay.
Whoa.
Are we about to like make this kid's day? Like, hell yeah, let's do that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like, you know.
Do they accept it like US bills?
No. In Cambodia, yeah. They take the dollar and they take the crispy ones.
Crispy.
The bigger and crispy ones, yes. They won't really take a $1 or $5 that's got a rip in it. They don't really want it.
It's not cool enough.
No, I mean, yeah, just to them it means more. Let me think about this. So in Vietnam, it was 1 to 24,000 Vietnamese dong.
Okay.
So I don't know how many zeros that is when you flip it the other way around, but it's ridiculous. 24,000. I bought, let me say, a coffee is like 600.
Okay.
600.
It's like way less than $1.
It's like 25 cents for a cup of coffee in Vietnam.
Dang.
And it's really good coffee.
Is that why you guys decided to go to Asia and Vietnam? Because it was just like, oh, like you could go ham.
No, my wife wanted to go and see a bunch of the military stuff. That was like really interesting to us. And then we just kind of planned a trip around going over there. I wanted to go to Thailand, and we literally went to Cambodia because it was in the middle. And then Cambodia was unbelievable. I'd go back there again.
Dang.
It was really cool.
Hello, friends. I hope you are enjoying the show. I just wanted to chime in and talk to you about Bucked Up. If you need more protein in your diet, creatine to aid your muscle growth as well as recovery, or pre-workout for your demanding sets during your workouts, Bucked Up has you covered. I use their Snickerdoodle protein and creatine monohydrate every single day. And on days I don't feel like working out, their BAMF nootropic pre-workout keeps me swinging kettlebells, running mountains, moving weight inside and outside the gym. If you'd like to try them out and save some money, use code NateBiltz1 for 20% off any order. And back to the show. Do you know about any training, like fitness stuff in Asia?
We went to a Muay Thai fight.
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I could just tell you it's fucking hot out there. Though. It would have been like, if you're training, it'd be just like training in a fucking sauna. Yeah.
I have a friend who was a world champion for Muay Thai. Dope. And he studied in Thailand for a few months. And he was telling me that it's different over there because these guys have to do it. Like, it's their living.
Totally.
You know? And I was like, damn, that's kind of scary.
Yeah, you're not training Muay Thai. Like,
No.
it's your job. Like, you're trying to make it.
Yeah.
So you're about to either get kicked the shit out of or do that to someone.
Yeah. And it's your lifestyle. Like, everyone's doing it. Like, little kids are doing it.
It was, I mean, whenever you end up over there, you have to go to a live one.
Yeah.
Like, you got to go see it. It's really cool. I remember, like, not really knowing on the, like on the scoreboard where it comes up, or same thing for fighting where it tells you wins, losses, draws, how old they were, like how many finishes there were. You couldn't tell which one they were doing, so you'd had to try and guess. All right, well, is this kid 120 years old or is he 16 years old and he's had 120 fights? It's like, yeah, it's crazy.
Wow.
There was like a 14-year-old that had literally that many fights.
Can you imagine just getting pummeled in the head for like 13 years of your life?
I watched it. Well, these guys are doing like, if you do the math on that though, they're doing like, 40 fights in a year.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Have you ever got punched in the face?
No.
I don't think so.
Back of the head?
Back of the head?
What do you mean? No, I don't think so. Like, you don't think I look like I've been punched?
No, I don't think I have either.
Oh, you? Okay.
Yeah.
You answered my question. Like, for me, you don't think I look like I got punched in the head? I think I got...
Very good looking face. Right. Did you see any of the fitness stuff though? Like the training? Do people lift weights over there? Because like my buddy who's from China, he's like, you don't see a lot of really strong, like buff, jacked people over there.
No. That's such a funny topic because there was quite a few moments where, because, I mean, my wife's pretty fucking jacked too.
Yeah.
I mean, probably sticks out more than me, really, I think, because you don't, I mean, she's in the 1% for sure.
Like, you wouldn't expect it. I mean, technically we are too.
I mean, totally.
In
but
terms of like fit humans who wake up most days and work out and move their body.
Yeah.
Like most people don't do that.
That's true. But like looks it. But quite often there would be, I would be walking along the street and people look at you like muscles, or you gym.
Oh wow.
Yeah. Like,
because you could tell, like especially there, like you stand out more than Anybody.
Not only am I white, not only have I got like long curly hair,
Yeah.
you know, sticking out that way. It's like, you Jim, you muscles. I'm like, no, not Jim, jacked.
Jacked. How did you come up with getting jacked? And I really like the logo.
Everyone just used to say it. Like when they were when I was the class coach being in CrossFit, people were like, oh yeah, we're getting jacked today. Like, oh, you're the first one to come up with that joke.
Oh, it's like,
I was like,
I've heard that one
I'm
before.
a fucking trademark that, you know?
Did you?
I'm not going to say.
Not going to say. Yeah, all good.
No, I didn't really get into LegalZoom nonsense with it, so not quite. But
Trademark?
I do have all the domains.
You have all the domains.
Gettingjacked.com, .net, .org.
Wow, everything. You're like, I'm going to have all these bases covered.
I mean, it cost me like $197 for all of them.
Compared
and
to
it was
the
like,
trademark.
yeah, it was like 10 for one of them, 7 for the other, and 180.
Also, like, you don't need to worry. I mean, I spent so much time getting my trademark for my bitters company, and like, I didn't do anything with it yet. So it kind of doesn't really matter. If you have all the domains and stuff, you could do that later.
No,
that's one thing looking at it now, starting the fitness brand that I have, I was just like, just do the work and get results first. And then if it works out or when it works out in the long term, like then you do all that bullshit.
It's a good brand, by the way.
Oh, thanks, bro.
I like it.
Built's different, baby.
I love it. Like I had to, the first time I met you, or when I looked at it on Instagram, I kept thinking it said Blitz.
Oh, yeah.
I was like, damn, that guy nicknamed Nate Biltz. Like, I wonder if he's fucking so fast, you know?
I wish.
Yeah. I was like, oh, dope. Okay, it's Biltz. I was like, it's a
Biltz.
weird one. Oh, Bilt's different.
Yeah.
Oh, we Bilt's different in this neck of the woods.
Yes, sir.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think of a logo for it. Like, you look at every big brand, right? You look at Nike. You look at...
It'll come to you.
Well, the thing is, like, it kind of doesn't mean anything. Like the swoosh, like it does mean something. Like there is a meaning for it, but no one objectively knows what that means. It's like a check mark, a fancy check mark.
Totally.
But like after a long enough period of time, people associate that swoosh with Michael Jordan.
Just do it or whatever. Yeah.
They just associate it with all the time. Or like Apple, right? Like.
Well, what if? Because, I mean, the idea of built's different. I feel like, you know, you're building something, right? So what if it was some sort of brick situation?
I was thinking about a brick. So
like whether you had, you know, cut out the letters and make them into bricks and then have them all stacked up in different...
Yeah. I actually was trying to draw 10 different versions of a brick because the same idea.
Yeah. I think that'd be cool. But yeah, anyway, it's decent. Yeah, I think it's cool.
How did you get into, I guess, coaching in general?
I've coached since I was maybe like 16 years old.
Okay. What were you coaching?
Like summer camps.
Why did you want to do that?
So I was super active kid, and the school I didn't go to, but a lot of my friends, it was kind of like the layout of where I lived. I lived opposite the equivalent of like a massive baseball pitch, but a cricket pitch.
Okay.
Yeah, so big open grass field. So there was a school in one direction, and there was an alleyway and another school in another direction. Like different age groups, one being like elementary to you guys and high school, essentially. We didn't really do middle school. We just went one to the other. So there's a school on either end, and everyone would cross this big field, so everyone would always be playing football, you know, kicking a ball around, whatever it may be. So super active.
Soccer for US people.
Exactly.
Right? Okay.
So there was a bunch of kids in the area. We'd play a lot of games on that field for, you know, literally any sport going. And then at one of the bigger schools, they would hold these like, whether it was spring break. I'm trying to speak in American like
terms,
vacation windows and things like that. For us, you know, Easter holiday, you know, summer holiday and winter break. And in all of those times, they do a summer camp, and I'd go there religiously. So like, I knew all the coaches every year, and then eventually I got to the point of where I'm like the oldest kid there, and it's like they approached me and were like, you know, do you want to help out? And then all of a sudden, it's like the next year you get to hand in your CV and get a job, and you're 16 and you kind of coach all these kids. It's like you get given a schedule of like dodgeball, badminton.
Oh, so everything.
Exactly.
It's
it's basically like PE.
Okay.
Yeah. You know, 9 to 12. Kid gets dropped off. Some kids would go home at lunch. Some kids would stay, have their packed lunch.
Did you
You'd
like
do
it?
another 3 hours. Yeah, because you just fucking get paid to play around.
Yeah.
You know, and like sometimes you didn't really have to join in with the kids.
Yeah.
Sometimes you're like, all right, I'm going to jump in and kick a ball around. Or you know what, that little Nate kid, I'm going to nail him with this dodgeball.
Right at his face.
Exactly. So it was fun, and it was also like a government paid job. So you get like a
This
decent...
is in England?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And so that was from the age of 16, I think like 16, 17, 18. And then I learned about scholarships in terms of coming out here.
For a sport.
Yeah. Cousins had gotten scholarships who live out here in California, and they'd done it for running and for tennis and things like that. And then I met a guy, or he was at the same college as me, where he had got a scholarship to come out here. And then I kind of looked into it and then found there's like agencies that bring players out here and you do a mini tour.
What's so romantic about coming out to the United States to play a sport?
No, it's getting the education paid for, really.
Okay.
Is a nice thing.
But what about education in England?
I mean, it's pretty damn top notch. I think it is. Yeah. I mean, it's kind of the same. One thing that I thought was pretty stupid out here is that in England, by the time you've come out of high school and like graduated and you're about to go to college, you're going to go to college and do like 3 topics that are all to do with business. You don't. When I came out here and went to college, I started doing history again and math again, and Western Civ, and I was like, I don't need to fucking learn this if 100%. I'm doing kinesiology. Like, why am I going backwards? So that bit was kind of weird for me. But you were saying in terms of the coaching, that got me. Then I met a guy who'd come out here, and then I got my scholarship to come out here. Started in Northern California, then came down to Southern California, and then
was it a big shock?
Stayed around here. What? Well, no. So I have family here, right?
Okay.
So I used to come to California quite regularly.
Nice.
So I love coming to California.
Why?
So my goal.
I'm asking from someone who's because I've been born here.
Just open the blinds.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, yeah, you got it out here.
I already got it.
Being like a kid that used to love, watching surf videos and skateboard videos, and like would just only surf once a year or boogie board once a year and like skate when it wasn't raining, and things like that. So I always thought that was really cool.
Yeah.
But then coming out here and realizing that there's like mountains there and the ocean right there, that's pretty fucking sick too.
Yeah.
But
because I feel like a lot of people who are out here, one, they don't do those things, so therefore they don't appreciate them as much.
Totally.
Right. And for example, like I run in the mountains a lot, and I could be on my lunch break on top of Wisdom Tree running towards the Hollywood sign and back down before my next client. You could go surfing in a few minutes, come back, and then train your next client. It's like most people have to go to that destination, and it's like a thing for one time in their entire year or a few times a year, and we have it in our like weekly routine. Therefore, we appreciate it so much.
Totally. But a few things. I've really kind of moved out here for weather and also family. So like when I found out that I could get a scholarship to come out here, I was like, well, I've only ever been to America and only been to California. Yeah. So it's like, why not like throw all of my darts at that and try and hit there?
California.
Yeah. So I ended up in Northern California.
Which part?
A tiny place called Quincy.
Quincy, I've never heard of it.
Have you heard of Truckee?
No, I've heard of Truckee.
No?
I'm a bad Californian, I guess.
No, I mean, no, these places are tiny. How about Oroville?
Oroville? No.
Portola?
Portola, I've heard of Portola.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, okay. So, I mean, it's within 30, 40 minutes, maybe an hour away. But, I mean, it's like an hour away from Lake Tahoe.
Okay.
Hour and a bit away from Chico.
Okay. Yeah, maybe, I know where Chico's at.
And then like an hour and a tad from Reno.
And that's where school was.
Yeah, so I'd fly to San Fran, then San Fran to Reno, and then take a minibus.
So you were a pretty good soccer player. Like, you have to be, I think...
No, Americans are so bad that, you're better than most Muslims, man. Well, you guys play different sports.
I honestly think
you guys just don't put the reps in.
Football players, they're getting better.
Yeah, they are, because, I mean, it's more encouraged, and, Messi's out here, and Beckham came out here. Like, it's become more attractive, and people are realizing that you don't have to play a sport where you get your head pummeled.
And there's so many different variations of it now, similar to, like, what we were talking about of different avenues of fitness. Like, I've had someone on the podcast who is a professional beach soccer player. Like, he just plays in the sand.
It's a totally different sport.
Totally different sport.
Yeah.
And then there's the ping pong, whatever it is, soccer sport, where you're hitting it over the net with just your feet, or the volleyball. Like, there's so many variations of that now.
Exactly, yeah, it's really cool. And there's futsal and things like that, which is like indoor with a heavier ball. But
heavier ball.
It just doesn't bounce.
Okay.
Not very. So.
That would hurt, right?
I mean, it's a ball still at the end of the day. I mean, it depends on how hard it gets kicked, where it hits you. But
Were you obsessed with soccer growing up or football?
Yeah,
I'll just say football because I feel
football and
disrespectful.
rugby.
Yeah.
Football, rugby, and cricket. They were my sports. I mean, I tried to play everything, but like, there's not a massive like.
What was your
basketball
favorite?
situation.
Was it basketball? I mean,
I played football.
Football?
Yeah, I only played rugby when I went to school. So I went to a private school that had like rugby and cricket were the main things, and they didn't play football until you got to the last 2 years.
From what I've heard for rugby, it doesn't hurt as much because you have to brace.
So misunderstood.
Misunderstood. Explain.
Yeah. Well, like, okay, so let's think. If we move this table out of the way, and I just ran straight into you like football hit you.
Okay.
Think of how that might hurt.
Yeah.
As opposed to I'm going to run at you and I have to hug you and fall to the ground with you.
You have to hug.
Yeah. So whether I wrap you up around your ankles or I wrap you up like below your armpits,
okay,
I can run. It's not a clothesline, but I mean, you have to follow them to the ground. Oh. It's not a hit. So it's never really, I mean, there can still be like, unexpected. You're facing the other way and someone comes and hits you.
Okay. What happens if you just hit and don't go to the ground with them?
Oh, like then other people can join in. It turns into a pushing match.
Okay.
Like the opposite of a tug of war.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's literally like a pushing match with the ball.
Okay.
And then, so, yeah, the bit where it gets misunderstood as well is that the game moves back and forth like 10 to 20 yards where the line of scrimmage, for example, the defenders and the offense are right in front of each other all the time. So there's not that many occasions of where you're running and getting hit from really far away.
Yeah.
And then when you throw into the element of you have to hug them rather than hit them. I mean, don't get me wrong. I'm not playing down. It's just different. If you're wearing a fucking helmet, you're going to run at me a different way than if you don't wear a helmet.
Okay.
And I think that's the bigger difference.
Yeah.
Yeah. That and having to wrap.
So do you think it is safer
than American football?
Yeah.
For sure.
Yeah.
For sure.
But you're not wearing any pads, right?
Mouth guard. And yeah, you can wear like, an inch of foam-ish underneath. But some people wear them, some people don't. But it doesn't do shit.
Did you ever get fucked up from it? Like,
yeah, so like, I'll put my hands up. I was a pussy. I made 3 tackles a year. But I would get hit every game. It was just the position I played.
Okay.
Yeah, I was a fly half, so it was different.
No clue what that means.
It's kind of like first receiver, because you play it backwards.
Yeah. The little twist, right? The little twirl.
Yeah, there you go. The first guy that comes and passes it, I'm the first guy that receives it.
Yeah.
So it comes to me, I'm kind of deciding what's going on.
Okay.
I'm either kicking it, passing it, trying to run with it, or too slow with it.
And then you'll get hit.
Yeah.
So
great game, though.
You got hit a lot.
Unbelievable. Yeah, it would happen regularly.
Are you like good though? Like right now, like all the body's working? Because I feel like a lot of
I'm fine. Yeah, when you're a kid, like you just bounce off the floor.
I don't know about that, bro. I feel like a lot of people. I have this one client. He played a lot of soccer growing up, and he would say he always kicked the ball wrong, right? So he always toed it instead of like.
Well, he was shit.
Yeah, he was shit. Instead of like properly kicking the ball. And so his toes are so fucked up that we're trying to work with the balance stuff that we're doing today. Like he could barely stand up.
Right?
He's American.
Yeah. Okay. You said his toes are so messed up from kicking the ball wrong. That's really wrong.
Yeah, it's really wrong. And
Wow.
and so he's only like 39 years old and he has all these feet problems and balance problems, and it's because of like soccer at 8th grade.
That's so bad. That's
So my point being is there's a lot of sports athletes who didn't do something the right way maybe, or had one hit from rugby or one hit from American football to where that it's affected them their entire life.
You want to know something really cool about rugby? So rugby is a place in England.
Okay.
There's a town called Rugby. Yeah.
Okay.
So I went to a school, and my school travelled up there, Loughborough Grammar School, travelled to play rugby grammar school, at the game of rugby. Because rugby, the sport, was invented in the town called Rugby. A guy called Webb Ellis was playing a game of football, soccer, and picked up the ball and ran with it.
Uh-huh.
So if you were to make a, where are we? NoHo?
No.
Yeah. So if you were to make a rugby team here, it would be NoHo Rugby Football Club. They're always
you
RFC.
have to do that.
So if you know of any soccer team, you're like Man United FC Football Club.
Yeah.
Yeah. So they're always RFC because the game came from playing football. Because you can literally just kick the ball if it's on the floor.
Yeah. Oh, really?
Yeah. It's live ball. You just kick it and run with it. That's fine. Yeah. The only thing you can't do is
throw it forward.
Throw it forwards.
Yeah.
Yeah. And if you drop it forward, anything forwards off your hands.
And you could kick it.
Yeah. Otherwise, so if you can kick it, but if you drop it, like it goes to the other team.
Oh, if you drop it on the ground.
If you drop it forwards, if you drop it backwards, fair game. Yeah.
So even if you just like, oh,
But if you intentionally kick it forwards, like I punt it,
Yeah.
that's perfectly fine.
and people just run, and if it touches the ground, you can pick it up
Yeah.
and run with it. Anybody can.
Yeah. But you like the offside rule is the same as it is in soccer in terms of like, you just can't be in front of the ball.
Yeah.
If you're in front of the ball, like you're not allowed to touch it.
What did sports, what did football and rugby and cricket teach you about your body or just like life in general?
I mean, I just fucking love to play. I was very competitive. But I mean, when you label those sports, and I probably haven't spoken about these in a while, or haven't thought about them. I haven't played them for a while. In fact, I'm literally about to sign up and go play a 7v7 league. I had a kid that I coached out here.
Yeah, that's what you said.
So I'm stoked about doing that.
He's getting soccer shape, or football shape.
There we go. I was getting ruined today. But yeah, like football, cricket, and rugby, they're like three very different sports. Like all hand-eye coordination, all totally different. Two of them are like, or one of them's an invasion game in terms of soccer being intermingling. Yeah. Whereas rugby is like played on two lines. And then cricket is, I mean, like what? A fine skill sport? More, fine motor skill. So very different, but love being a team player. Like being, captain a few times here and there, things like that. But yeah, never really did too many singular sports. Even with like when I came out here and doing CrossFit, I've done maybe 3 or 4 CrossFit events, and I haven't done any of them solo. I've done them all team.
Yeah, I feel like CrossFit though, it's very community based.
1000%.
Yeah,
we all drink that Kool-Aid, baby.
I think that's one thing about CrossFit versus a lot of other gyms is like a lot of people develop a true relationship, and then it's like an in-person competitive class. Like
it's a clubhouse. Yeah,
I've only taken a few classes like there. Like every other.
It gets a bad rap. It is.
Why do you think it gets a bad rap? From my perspective, what people say for someone who doesn't participate in CrossFit a lot is, you get hurt. It's too competitive, and they go right into it without teaching proper form in XYZ.
Yeah. So
is that accurate?
Well, so let me set a scenario.
Okay.
You're a coach. You know most of the movements in CrossFit, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, because I mean they're just everyday movements. Yeah. I mean you can the cool thing about CrossFit.
I'm not great as snatching and jerking.
Well, okay. So think of your clients.
Okay.
And then think if you were going to write a workout that all of your clients could do in the same class.
Okay.
Or think of a workout that you could do for your best client, but then think about how your worst client or least in shape or least capable client could also do the same workout.
Okay.
And just think about how you'd have to scale it from that to someone else. So you might want to have, fucking big boy Jim over here do muscle ups and handstand push-ups and heavy deadlifts.
Yeah.
But you might want a little Janet over here to only do ring rows. Maybe do a farmer carry or, a kettlebell deadlift.
Sure.
Or something like that. So, but then if they come into the same class and like homeboy's going for it and Janet's sort of like feeling frisky, she's like, oh, I'm going to do it. You need to learn to say, hey, he's a little bit stronger. He's a little bit more of a, you know. So it's also about just understanding who's there and being safe with it. However,
and if you're letting them known, let that be known.
Totally. Yeah. But you can imagine how if you're a brand new CrossFit coach, you went to a CrossFit class way back in, in New York once, and you loved it. You were there one summer and you went to a bunch of classes. You're like, you come back to California, like, I'm gonna make CrossFit. I'm gonna make a CrossFit gym, and you do it, and you just get all round to go and just don't give a shit about how people move. That's how all of those things come true.
Yeah.
But if you were to go and take all your clients and be like, yo, I only have 3 hours, so I'm just going to have 3 CrossFit classes. You can write the workout as whatever you want. Yeah. You can say you're going to have a partner workout today and pass the kettlebell back and forth as many times as you can. And how many passes you get is the winner. Like write the score down. Yeah. That could be a CrossFit workout. Sure. So that's the cool thing about CrossFit is you can make it up as you go along. The problem is that like routine is the enemy and it's a sport. So you're trying to do as many different things all the time. If there isn't really a program behind it, that's how you can also get hurt. It becomes very fun, but people go to it not knowing that it's a sport, and therefore they go to it thinking, I'm going to go do CrossFit and lose weight and get in shape. Yeah. Because he did CrossFit and he's fucking yoked. Yeah. It's like, well, he might have been doing 2 hours of like specific lifting, then cardio, then doing a Metcon and doing it all. And he might have a bunch of bum shoulder injuries and elbows and all that jazz.
So how do you fix that? How do you solve those problems?
I think CrossFit kind of ruined it when they came up with their slogan, Forging Elite Fitness. Because if we use Janet and Jim as the example, like Janet doesn't need to be an elite CrossFitter. Jim's maybe got a good go at it.
Is that their slogan still? Forging elite fitness?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Don't pay attention to it. Have you ever watched any of the CrossFit games or anything like that? Yeah, like it's interesting, and some of the things they do are wild.
And it looks extremely hard.
Yeah. But I mean, they kind of look good doing most of the things they do. They move well.
One thing that it really shocked me is I was like, they're biking, they're running with a plated vest, they're doing snatches, cleans, their mobility looks great, they're doing pistol squats, they're doing muscle ups, and I was like,
they're doing everything.
Yeah. And it really...
They're running in sand dunes and running up 110 flights of whatever in the...
Like, how would you define CrossFit?
It has... you got to look... Can I look it up? You got to find the definition. That was where I think CrossFit came from, is that there wasn't a definition of fitness.
Yeah.
And so Greg Glassman tried to come up with the definition of fitness. And it sounds exactly what it is, yeah. CrossFit is a high-intensity interval training program that combines functional movements with... No, that's fucking wrong. That's what they've said.
Maybe it happened with all the...
But I'm pretty sure it was like...
politics with CrossFit.
It was like CrossFit is high-intensity movements like across broad time and modal domains. Basically, can you do something really fast? Can you do it not really fast? Can you do a workout that's an hour long? Can you do one that's 2 minutes long? Can you do something heavy? Can you do something light? That was how they taught you to program as well.
I mean, my first like CrossFit class, I didn't realize how hard it was going to be because I'm very good at all the movements separately with a lot of rest. And then when you have 20 seconds in between cleans from pull-ups to thrusters, that you don't have your traditional 1.5 minutes or 45 seconds rest in between the same movement.
Do you wear any sort of device?
I used to.
Did you do it when the time you did your CrossFit class?
Yeah.
You used to just see yourself redlining the whole time.
The whole time.
Yeah. So that's what we call it in CrossFit.
Yeah.
So I tried it I don't do CrossFit anymore. I do the open, which is really cool every once in a while. It's like a yearly check-in, the fitness test basically, where they just throw out a bunch of workouts and everybody does it.
Why did you stop?
I stopped when I found kettlebells. I try to teach people because what you just said about your heart rate redlining and doing a bunch of movements, not used to doing them all together. I try to tell people like, all right, because it depends on what the workout is. Let's say you got a 15-minute AMRAP, as many rounds as possible. You have to tell people like, if you had 15 minutes of running upstairs, think about the pace that you're going to run at. Or if you're going to 15 minutes of running up and down a hill, think about how fast you're going to run up the first hill.
Because you don't want to stop.
Well, no, exactly. Because the whole idea is it's an AMRAP, so as many rounds as possible or as many reps as possible. Yeah. Your whole idea of it should be to always be getting a rep.
Always be moving.
There's no point if we go for a run, you sprint your ass off, stop, put your hands on your knees, and I just keep jogging, and eventually I just pass up to you. Then you sprint again, and then I just keep jogging, and eventually it's like, what's the point of sprinting and stopping when you could find a pace that you can move at? Yeah. It's just you don't know what that fucking pace is because you've never done these movements together.
Yeah, never done them.
So they have complementary movements and redundancies. Yeah. Like rowing and deadlifts, it's going to be pretty shitty. Versus rowing and bench press or push-ups, like kind of push-pull,
complementary.
Exactly. So some workouts are perfect in terms of how you want to do bodybuilding and maintain cardio. Because there's definitely like you can get jacked doing CrossFit.
Oh, for sure.
Because of something like an AMRAP. Like if we do rowing and barbell push press and we do 10 minutes and it's like...
But your heart rate's also going like crazy.
Yeah, totally. But you got to think about it. So it's like, let's say the workout is going to be... Because you can write it different ways, right? So let's say we're going to put 95 pounds on a barbell. So 25 is on each side. We're going to sit on a rowing machine. Do you have a rower at your gym?
Yeah, we have a water one though.
So you don't know about it. Have you got?
Yeah.
What about the bikes? We could use the bikes. Oh, you've been on C2 before. Yeah. So let's say you row 20 calories.
Yeah.
All right. Takes minute 30. Every time you get off, you're gonna do 10 push press. Each time, or better yet, let's do max push press.
Okay.
When you put it down, you have to row another 20.
Okay.
And just keep going back and forth.
For 10 minutes.
Yeah, so you can row as slow as you fucking want to row. But you're going to get off and do as many push press. And the score is how many push press you get.
Dang.
So if you write that correctly...
And you do it at full effort.
Think about it. That's only overhead press, non-stop, like... You're going to get a hell of a shoulder workout. And then the next day, do something with lunges or step-ups or deadlifts or squatting with the bike.
Yeah.
Like you could use it in a way that's CrossFit and that is getting you bodybuilding
That
results.
assault bike, bro, is insanely.
Yeah, and you don't have the Echo bike.
No,
either.
we don't.
Like that is way different.
The Echo bike's so hard.
I've got one of those.
I
love it.
I
love hate.
I went to San Diego and I visited a buddy of mine who's in the Marines, and he lived at the time with just complete savages who just did CrossFit, went to work. Like in the military, they did jujitsu twice a day, they lifted weights twice a day, and they ran twice a day. Like I went over there and they were like all like with their shirt off, counting all the macros in the kitchen. It was the most like, it's the
so well programmed.
Opposite of a frat house. Like it was like everyone in there had their shit
together. It was a
together.
military house.
Yeah, it was a military house.
Yeah,
and I was like, oh my God,
base.
it's fucking crazy, dude. And it was like easy for them. All of them were doing like rogue assault bike, right into the ski ergs, right into the run, right into like hella burpees. And I was like, yo, it made me change my perspective on fitness. The CrossFit class, as well as this experience with these Marines, was even though I could be really, 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 really strong in one movement, I'm having like 4 to 5 minutes of rest to do that. Mm-hmm. And I was like, oh, maybe fitness isn't just lifting heavy things. Because like I started with bodybuilding and powerlifting, which is nothing compared to CrossFit. Like you have a lot of rest.
Yeah.
Versus your heart beating.
Totally.
Every fucking second.
Yeah.
And it's hard to get used to.
Yeah. So I did bodybuilding, t-shirt training, the occasional deadlift, maybe a shitty back squat on the Smith machine here and there before I came to America. But took my cardio fitness seriously just in a football manner.
I feel like you've always had good cardio because of football.
Yeah, totally. Because you just I never stopped. So I played it all the way as a kid, all the way up until I was 18. And when I moved out here, I was like 20. So
were you coaching this whole time as well?
Well, no. So I coached those sport camps from like 16 years old until like maybe 18. And then when I was 19, 20, I moved out here when I was 20. And so I was a 20-year-old freshman. And then went through college. And then I probably only started coaching. I did maybe 1 or 2 soccer camps here and there in America. And then would eventually, when I moved into where I'm at now in San Pedro, or in El Segundo area, but just the South Bay in general, that was when I started coaching CrossFit.
Before we continue this week's conversation, I just wanted to take a quick moment and talk to you about our friends at MUDWTR. Their original blend is a coffee alternative made of 100% organic cacao, masala chai, turmeric, lion's mane, reishi, and cordyceps to give you natural energy and focus without the jitters or crash. When I know I'm gonna have a long day ahead of me, I mix the MUDWTR original blend with some whole milk and a couple drops of honey to elevate my day. In my opinion, it's more flavorful than a chai latte and is better fuel for my body. To elevate your day and get the benefits of coffee without the jitters or crash, click the link below to receive 20% off. And back to the show. Did you always want to get into the training space studying kinesiology?
I just didn't want a real fucking job. To me, like at the point of...
Why kinesiology then?
Well, I came out of business marketing.
Oh, okay.
Because I got like...
Oh, so you started kinesiology.
I got my AA in kinesiology.
Okay.
And then I got a scholarship to the school.
That you wanted to?
Yeah, from an English coach who didn't give a fuck about anything other than like maintaining a C.
I graduated with sociology, bro, and I got an AA in mathematics, statistics, and economics.
Yeah, there you go. Exactly, yeah. I remember I had like something weird like behavioral sciences or something obscure because I had like a 68.5% or a 69% in chemistry because I was always playing a soccer match on the day that we had a lab. Yeah. And so I basically went up to the teacher at the end. He was like, "Can you just like ask me a question and like give me an extra % if I get it right?" Like I've tried my hardest. Like you like me as a person, blah blah blah. And she was nice enough to eventually do it.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So I got A in kinesiology and then transferred to a brand new kinesiology program that wasn't fucking there, and then ended up basically having to choose between either sociology, like psychology, business, and I ended up doing business marketing.
What scared you so much about having a regular job? Because I've never had one either.
Well, just the idea of sitting down at a desk is
all
always
day.
Fuck that.
Yeah.
I had like I did like some packing for a while, like 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 a garden center. So like loading little boxes with like, you know, heavy tiles or whatever it is in there, like a whole bunch of different style things, but you know, all sorts of loading, unloading. So I was doing that here and there, but then it was just like
taxing on the body.
But then I knew I was getting a scholarship out to come out here. So it was like, all right, this is like my last kind of job. I'm doing it. And then just
So did training find you, or did you just were like, I'm good at this shit, I'm going to...
No, so it came as having gone to the gym. I felt like there wasn't many football kids or soccer players that had been to the gym. So like they didn't have any muscle or anything like that. And I moved out here at like 148 pounds.
Okay.
And I just weighed myself after our workout. I was like, what, 174, 173 point something. But point being, I'd done a little bit of weightlifting, and then we came out here and we had an actual lesson, weightlifting Monday, Wednesday, Friday, with a coach in the gym at the college.
For
soccer. Yeah. And it was ran by one of the football coaches.
Okay.
What's his name? Coach Hayden.
Come on, Coach Hayden.
Yeah. And that was where I learned how to power clean. And that was where I learned how to, like, you know, do more back squats. And it was basically the first time we ever did like 5x5.
Okay.
And we did bench, squat,
deadlift.
I don't think they had his deadlift. That was why they had his power clean instead.
Okay.
But I was doing that Monday, Wednesday, Friday. And then I was going to the gym Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday.
Just on your own?
Well, I'd go with other people. So that I was in that tiny place, right, called Quincy. There was like 600 or 750 people at the school.
Yeah.
It was a community college. But like 350 of us were athletes.
Oh, wow.
Because we had like football, basketball, both sides, baseball, softball, volleyball, rodeo, soccer, boys and girls.
Wow.
Yeah. Not many rodeo schools. So, and then we had this little shed of a gym, but there was another gym down the street that was actually owned by the college, but it was a regular gym where there was a bunch of members. So I go down there and do my t-shirt training, you know, lateral raises and all that jazz and things like that, and doing all those things. And then in the mornings, Monday through Friday, we just do lifts. Yeah, we just do power cleans, we do bench press, and there might be like a set of bicep curls or a set of these here and there. And I'd actually never do them. I'd just do the lifts because I'd know that I was going to go to the gym and it was arms day or it was shoulder day.
Yeah.
So like I was already trying to, and everybody at that point, there was a moment where have you ever trained with other people in the gym consistently where you've been like the weaker one?
Probably like 2-3 years.
Yeah, and it's great. If you're always playing catch up, it's great.
Great.
So quite often, all the other English kids were like, "Hey Jack, when are you going to the gym? Like when you going to the gym? Like, I want to come with you." Or I'd get my roommates. We'd just do things like I'd try to get my roommates into doing something more because some of them didn't really like going to the gym, but they'd look at me. And
why did you want them to come with you?
I mean, just dude, like who doesn't want more muscle?
Yeah.
Right? It helps.
It helps.
And it was for different reasons back then as it is that I preach to my clients now. Yeah. But so we do little things like 1 minute's worth of push-ups, you know, and little things like that, and little challenges. But yeah, so I ended up training, you know, that many days in a week. But I got the privilege of like training with these Hawaiian dudes, and we would get so high, walk down the street, go to the gym, have a pre-workout on the way down there, and they would just bench press to the point of where like you couldn't count, like you don't know what number you're on, and they'd just watch you and be chatting around, and when they see you failing, you're like, all right, cool, now we'll do 3 more, and then they just like, you know, and you're literally fighting gravity for the last 3. And I swear I went to Hawaii that year too, and I came back like 12 pounds heavier just from eating so much food.
Okay,
but that was when I put on a good amount of size, and I was like paying attention to taking supplements.
So I've trained that way too for when I was trying to get into powerlifting early. It's like all these powerlifters at the time, they didn't know any proper programming. So we just keep moving up 25 pounds each time to maxing out squats, maxing out bench, maxing out deadlift every single time.
Yeah.
And like looking back at it, it's probably not the healthiest, but it got me the results that I have right now. I didn't get injured.
Yeah.
You know, you just trained with these guys and you put on a lot of mass and you got stronger. I was like, is it wrong?
Yeah, no, it works until it doesn't work, you know? You do have to pay attention to yourself. But like I was still doing a lot of running and stretching because I was still playing football or soccer out here. But I was saying those Hawaiians helped me get big because I did a lot more. But I was doing that amount of training it was only maybe a full year I was doing it like that. But it was just that I was lifting a lot more weight. Like I'd never really lifted. So that was the added session. But I kind of started coaching the other English guys around the gym. Like they would want to come to the gym with me, which was cool. So, you know, it was like, hey, we're doing this tonight. Like, you know, we're doing step ups, we're doing this, we're doing that. That was kind of when I got my first muscle up as well, because I saw a black kid on the football team do one. I was like, yo, that was so impressive.
It took me very long. I did it with bands for a while.
Let it be known, like, when I came out to America, it was like the first time I don't want to say the first time I saw a real black person, but like they are way bigger out here. Like those are some athletes.
Athletes,
dude. Yeah.
Impressive.
Yeah, like, I mean, there wasn't really, I can't think of any black kids growing up.
Yeah.
Maybe the occasional one that kind of.
Oh, really?
Yeah, not in my area
Sure.
anyway, but there are like in London, but I'm nowhere near there. There are in other areas too, but just not so much near me. So when I moved out here, like I was in my dorm next to me, there was a guy called O'Shea. There was a guy called like Little J or Jake, but he was like Jaquan or something like that. And there was another guy called Shaquille.
Nice.
Damn, what's his stage name? He's a rapper right now.
Okay.
Yeah. But those dudes are so big.
Yeah.
And even the small dude that was like 5'5" was just like this.
Yeah.
He was, oh, dude, I just never seen muscle like
Genetic.
him. And so, like, seeing a running back, like, being 5'6" and just, pull up 225 on the bench, no problem.
Crazy.
Like, whoa.
Whoa.
Those guys are so explosive. It's totally different to our big guys back home playing rugby. Because you run around for 80 minutes. It's totally different than doing, shitload of sprints.
When's the first time you hit 225?
I've not hit that many times. I don't really bench that often.
Yeah.
The first time, I couldn't tell you that. I can tell you that I've only ever done, like I don't think I've ever done a 5x5.
At 225?
No.
It's okay.
My bench isn't terrible. Like, I don't know what I could do right now. The most I've ever done is I failed 275 three times. I've never hit it.
I failed 275 3 times. I've never hit it.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
No way.
I've hit 265 a lot.
What could you have hit today?
265, 260.
Comfortably? You think you could hit it? Yeah, see, I think I could hit 225.
I mean, I just did a powerlifting meet, though.
I know, totally. I'm trying to think what the heaviest thing. I've benched 232 kg kettlebells.
Okay.
Maybe for like 12 or 15.
What's the point of benching kettlebells? I really don't get it.
Kettlebells till I die, bro.
No, I understand. I feel like...
Well, the weight distribution's different, right? So I definitely feel like you get way more shoulder. And you have to move in a manner that isn't going to be shitty for your shoulders.
Sure.
It's obviously tough or it's different on people's forearms and grips and things like that. But like, I feel like it makes you engage your lats more and go closer to the hips a little bit more and have a nicer. I don't know. I like it better. I feel like it's a lot more
try it a
challenging.
couple more times, but I don't have a lot of double kettlebells. That's the only
exactly.
thing.
I've seen that. Yeah. I do a lot of. I like doing single arm. Bench.
Single arm.
Yeah.
It's for your core is insane.
It's really good.
Really good.
Yeah.
So circling back around for coaching, you started coaching all your friends.
All my friends
to get jacked.
Well remembered. Yeah. Coaching my friends. The getting jacked thing wasn't really there, but I was definitely probably still known a little bit on the team as being that one guy that worked out a little bit more than everyone else.
Yeah.
And then when I moved down to the school that's closer to here, Marymount, that isn't there anymore, I actually was... I'm trying to think how early I got my job. I got a job as a personal trainer in a semi-personal, like a semi-private personal training gym. It was in San Pedro, so a bunch of longshoremen. And I basically worked from like 8 till 12, and then again at like 4 till 8. And you basically be like a lifeguard. They'd come in, they'd check in, get their clipboard. We're doing 3 sets of 10 of this, 3 sets of 10 of that, 3 sets of 10 of this. And literally the two type of clientele in there, or the two avatars, were high school athlete, predominantly baseball, football, basketball, and then a few girls that played soccer maybe. And then longshoremen. And just older dudes. And so it was great with the longshoremen because you get...
Longshoremen, what do you mean?
Like work at the docks, work down at the port.
Nice.
Yeah.
So you got high school folk, and then you got these older guys.
Yeah, so this is me then, let me think. So let me rewind real quick. So 16 to 18 coaching summer camps in England. Moved out here as a 20-year-old. Probably did a couple summer camps here and there as 20, 21, 22, but taking my friends to the gym and coaching them there, kind of showing them the ropes. Then I was in LA or at Palos Verdes at that school when I was like 23, 24, 25, 26-ish at this gym for maybe 2 years or so, coaching high school athletes, just because the guy that owned it was like, well, you jive better with the young kids, like, give them some cool stuff to do. And I was also like, he would want me to work out. It was the similar like kind of way that your gym is located in quite a busy street. But imagine if you had big glass windows at the front and lights. Yeah. So he'd be like, as soon as the sun goes down, like turn on the lights, start training, like look cool. So, but I was in that realm of where, you ever fuck around with one of those training masks?
Masks.
Do you ever see those? Yeah.
Yeah. I did some sprints with them on treadmills.
They're gnarly. Yeah. But like, so I would get really good at them. I would use that. I'd be on a Bosu ball on one leg with battle ropes to the point of where, but
people would see you through these glass windows.
Probably not.
Oh, okay.
They're like driving on a busy street. They're like, whoa, look at that guy with a Bosu ball and a tennis ball and all that. Yeah. So I was doing, like one-legged Bosu ball, battle rope, throwing a tennis ball off the wall or bouncing it on the floor, trying to do as many different things as possible. I was also had just kind of
just cause,
and then that was just kind of where my mind went. I wanted to practice how to do handstands.
Okay.
And then I've always been like, I can always backflip. I've been able to do a backflip as like a celebration when I score ever since I was in high school. So like 17, 18. So I'd messed around with that type of stuff. And then I kind of probably was only lifting. Like I wasn't doing any real proper cleans or anything like that. Then I saw a CrossFit gym. Funnily enough, it burnt down. So I never got to go to it. But he relocated to a place that was actually closer. And then as I moved up one year, a new class came into the same college. And it was a guy from New Zealand. And he was like, oh, have you ever done CrossFit? I was like, no. And all of a sudden, he took me down. He's like, hey, there's a gym around the corner. Like, let's go. So I went down there, jumped in. I was like, this is great. It's fitness. I've done a whole bunch of weird, random shit. And now, like, you're telling me what to do and challenging me to do it. And the first workout I think I did was like a 5, 4, 3, 2, 1 of deadlifts.
Wow.
And I'd never pulled like, I don't know, a 300+ pound deadlift. I'd never done anything. And I pulled like 375 or something. And I was like, whoa, that was cool. Felt wrecked. And then did another workout that was like 80, 70, 60, 30, 40, 20, 10.
Okay.
And I think it started with like 80 burpees.
Wow.
But then finished with another 10. But it had like 20 handstand push-ups. It had like 40 sit-ups in there. It was all bodyweight, box jumps, things like that.
I mean, that shit's hard though.
Yeah, but the cool thing so what was really cool for me...
Like, it was only bodyweight, guys.
Yeah, I know, but the cool thing was to me is like, I was like pulling heavy with some of the big boys the day before, and then the next day, like, I'd finish that shit in 10 minutes, and people were finishing in 20. I was like, wow, so this isn't necessarily about like being really good at anything. It's like trying to be not shit at everything and being pretty good at everything. Yeah. And I got really into it. And then from there, I would literally coach those kids and those longshoremen, the older dudes. No. I'd coach them their generic bodybuilding / a football program. Some ladder drills, they'd jump rope. So in fact, that was the first time I'd heard of like active recovery, because the kids would be doing bench press, they'd be doing bicep curls, they'd be doing lateral raises, lunges, step ups. But in between all of their sets, they'd have to jump rope until like they switched with someone else or did whatever. So I was like, oh, that's cool. Yeah. And then I would basically think of like, I'd go to these CrossFit classes and learn new movements, come back, and then if I wasn't going there, I'd either teach them or I'd be doing it more of myself. So my head started to really play around with programming. Like I really enjoyed programming. And then from there,
I love programming, bro, because
super good.
You could be so creative with it.
And I think CrossFit actually, the different formats, they've nailed it. Like the AMRAP, doing something for task or for time, and then adding extra little things in there where it's like we had a workout at the gym that I coach at the moment. Shout out 1440.
Shout out 1440.
Yeah. They always do a birthday workout. Okay. So like, when's your birthday?
March 10th.
So in the month of March, they'd have come up to you and be like, what's your favorite movement?
Burpees.
All right. So depending on how the workout comes out,
that's not true.
There's either going to be...
I'd say bench press probably.
Okay, bench press. There you go. So we do bench press.
Yeah.
So there'd be like some form during of the workout. There's going to be 10 bench press in there, or there's going to be 27, right? There might be 27 reps on the bench press, or it might be floor press or something like that. But they throw together a mashup of all the people that have been born in that month.
Wow.
And they get to choose their movement.
Okay.
So you can write a workout that's like that, where it's just get through this shopping list.
Yeah.
But then you've got other workouts where it's like as many rounds as you can in this time. We spoke about pace earlier on. Figure out what's your running pace, or figure out what's your deadlift, rowing, pull-up pace. You don't know. Or we're going to what they call like 21, 15, 9. Have you ever seen those anywhere? No? So that's like the generic sprint format in CrossFit. So you do 21 reps of something, then 15 reps of something, then 9 reps of something. But pick 2 movements.
Yeah. Cleans and pull-ups.
So it could literally be 21 cleans, then 21 pull-ups, 15 cleans, then 15 pull-ups, then 9 cleans, 9 pull-ups.
Got it.
So you could see how that's a sprint.
So, for sure.
Yeah, it's gnarly. Like I've done it on the assault bike or the echo bike with burpees.
You talk about that a lot because you hate running.
Yeah, dude, stationary cardio is way better. I've started to run again because now I'm getting back into
Murphing.
Yeah, well, murphing and kicking the ball around again.
Yeah.
But my argument with running is this: there's so many people that don't know why they're running. Like, if you understood that you can't lose weight running. Like, it's not going to work. You can't outrun calories.
You can't.
I mean, everybody at some point, if it's the first thing you start doing, you can obviously do it.
Sure.
But at a certain point, it's not the most sustainable thing to do. Like, you're never going to be able to just outrun the amount of calories that you consume.
Unless you love running.
Unless you love running. But at a certain point, I mean, like
if someone loves to run 20 miles a day.
Yeah, do it for that reason.
Yeah.
But don't do it to lose weight.
Okay.
That's my argument around it. If it's therapeutic and you love it and you want to go see some things or you like to go out running with people or a dog or whatever it is, chase fucking butterflies.
They're burning calories though.
You are, but obviously you know that building muscle is better in the long term.
Sure.
So that's why it's just tell me why you're running. If you just say because it feels good, awesome. But if you say it feels good and I want to look better and I want to get into this dress, let's do some things differently.
Yeah. Let's lift some weight.
That's my argument behind running.
Yeah.
I ran around chasing a ball non-stop all the time. Never really did any long runs. Always did sprints. I would still probably much rather do sprints and things like that. Yeah. And I think you can benefit much better. If you had to decide now, you can either only do fucking, what's half marathon? 13.1 or 21K. Or you could do sprints. You got to pick one or the other, and that's all you can do for like the next, I don't know, next 30 years.
Probably sprints.
Right?
Yeah.
It do you much more. Because you can do intervals, you can work on your breathing.
Well, through science too, dude. I mean, a lot of powerlifting programs as well as bodybuilding programs based on just conditioning in general program sprints in it. Like I follow Jim Wendler's 531 powerlifting program a lot, for at least for the last 2 meets. And there's sprints in there.
Yep.
Yeah.
Explosive. Yeah. It works very well with it, but it does allow you to, boost your metabolism, get you that little bit of cardio. And
it's also one of the hardest things to do, like moving as fast as you can.
Yeah. Yeah. It's great.
Yeah.
But have you heard that audio that's going around all the time? It's after the age of 30, like 90% of people don't sprint anymore.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know how accurate it is, but definitely 75% of the people don't sprint anymore.
I definitely think it's 90, bro.
Especially in this fucking country.
Yeah.
You know what the average American can do in terms of pull-ups?
It's less than 1.
Yeah, it's 0. It's big fat 0.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's wild.
Yeah.
It's so crazy.
How many pull-ups can you do? Straight.
In the last 16, in the last 6 months, I think I did 27 straight.
21. 21? 27.
27.
27. That's pretty good.
Yeah.
I was trying to hit 50 straight for 2 years, and I just never did. And so I kind of gave up for the time being.
From doing it how, though?
Just strict. I hit 33.
Oh, wow. That's solid.
But I spent 2 years of doing like 100 pull-ups a day to hit 33.
I could definitely get... I need to write down some goals to try and hit them. Because that day, I only did it to beat my brother-in-law.
Oh, okay.
He'd done 26, and so I did 27.
27.
But I mean, it was tough. Like, that was the last one for me.
My back got so, like, the Dorito chipped.
You had the Christmas tree?
The Christmas tree? The upside down Christmas tree?
No, that's a solid Christmas tree. Yeah.
I guess.
Yeah, but...
So did you just fall in love with the CrossFit coaching? And you're like, oh, this is what I'm going to do?
I got asked to do it.
You got asked to do it?
Because I was already personal training. And then the gym owner... After his gym burnt down, like his members had to kind of split to a few gyms, just to have a new house for a while.
Yeah.
And then when he started again, he kind of realized that a few of those gyms weren't doing too well.
Yeah.
And so he ended up buying one of them out. But he knew he was going to do it beforehand. So he approached me and said, hey, if you go get certified, how would you like to come coach here? Like, everybody likes you. You're pretty good at it. You're already a trainer. Like, do you want to come coach here?
Nice.
And so I eventually, I actually got fired from the other place.
Why?
I mean, just the guy, not really understanding. We were also the cool kids, like me and this other New Zealand guy. And we had a couple rich kids that would come train, and their dads were dope. And they would be like, hey, do you want to come? We have a place in Costa Rica. Do you want to come stay here? We're like, fuck yeah. So we got to go. and the boss like was like, "You're going to stay in there, blah 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 blah." And by the time we come back, he was like, "That's it." Yeah. He's like, "That should have been. I should have got to go there first." I was like, "You don't train him. You just own the gym that I trained them at. You know, I know they're like, they pay your membership. Yeah. But like they offered us the place. You don't serve.
The relationship you build with the client too, especially if you're training them with weekly, like you know everything that's going on in their lives.
Yeah. Because you'd never like hang out with those people like
outside.
Yeah.
I mean, sometimes you went to Costa Rica.
There you go. No, but I mean, like I would never have bumped into that person ever before.
No.
You know.
Yeah.
Like I trained little Finley who was like 12.
Yeah.
But his dad Rob would come pick up and shoot the shit every day. And yeah.
Are you a lover of making cocktails or work as a career or part-time bartender? If so, mix like a pro with A Bar Above. A Bar Above has the best mixing tools on the market, from shakers and strainers to mallets and ice picks. A Bar Above has you covered with all your cocktail needs. Use code BILTZ, BILTZ, for 10% off any order. Do you think you're a better communicator from just dealing with constantly having to conversate? Because for me, I don't want to ever have like awkward pause during a session.
Oh so yeah, I'm good at rambling. Yeah, I'm good at filling the. Do you have like a go-to topics or like what you refer to?
Well, a lot of my clients are in the hospitality industry, like bartending, stuff like that. They are in the movie space, movies. They
all the fun shit.
Yeah, so all that jazz, and so I tried my best to keep up with. Like now, I did a very bad job. I was like, I have nothing to talk about. Let's watch the movies that they're working on. Let's see what sports they're watching. Because I have clients who are obsessed with the playoffs right now. So I'm like, okay, like pay attention to their team.
The championship playoffs?
Yeah, no, basketball playoffs, NBA playoffs.
In fact, I need to find out if Leeds won or not. Yeah, no, see who's getting promoted. Who's coming into the Premier League? Yeah.
So like it's always good to talk on their like 30-second, 45-second break, and just their interest. They light up, right? They light up when you have a topic that they're so excited about, and then they're like, oh yeah, and then they go into their set or whatever like with a better mood because of it.
That's why the semi-private thing works really well, because you kind of ignite the conversation and let them do the work.
Jack's been trying to sell me on the semi-private all day, guys.
Dude, it's great.
I think it's gonna work.
It's great. Everybody loves community. Yeah. It really works. It's the one thing that AI ain't gonna take away.
Yeah, how do you feel about that stuff?
I don't use it enough, I feel like.
I don't think I use it enough at all.
But it's like, you know, it's learning something new in it. ChatGPT is cool. Like I actually have. Do you have the little
I just
blue
downloaded
thing
it
on no, on my WhatsApp, on my Instagram, on my Facebook, it has like a little Meta AI right there. Yeah,
I haven't used it yet.
Oh, you haven't? Oh, so I've had it on all of mine for a while.
Okay.
But it's been on my WhatsApp for forever. But I use it to like chat with my father-in-law. He always just writes me random shit in Croatian. Like even though my wife's practicing Croatian.
Okay.
So like I have no idea what it is, so I have to like copy and paste it. But I always put it into WhatsApp rather than in Google.
Yeah.
Because then I just respond to it and say, write this back in Croatian. You know, you smell.
Yeah.
And then it gives me it.
Wow.
Yeah. So WhatsApp works.
I'm in the middle of like designing my website right now and everything for programming, and I just wanted to see like what Kettlebell programs AI could do. So I was like, give me like a 5-day split.
Oh yeah,
Kettlebell programs
just on
ChatGPT, and
I've done that before.
I like to.
It's funny.
I like to. It was all basic stuff.
Totally. It comes up with the big six and just goes through them all,
and that's it. And I was like, okay, I'm better than AI still.
Oh, yeah, of course. Yeah. But, back on your question of filling the gap with clients and things like that, though, like I try to figure out, like, you know, what shows do you watch? And then figure out if I've watched the same shows and things like that. Because you rarely have someone that's, like, completely way off than you or, like, totally different.
Otherwise, you could relate to with someone for everything.
And the one thing that a lot of people do watch is the news. So
really, I don't.
I mean,
do you watch the news?
I know, but I'm trying to think of you probably don't train too many people at your age, or do you train most people? Yeah, and most of those people do watch the news.
I don't think I've ever talked about like news events except unless it's like.
But I mean, I can just say
Drake and Kendrick.
Like, see, that's the thing. Yeah, like bullshit TMZ
bullshit,
stuff. Dude, like you've not been hearing what's going on the metros. Like you need to know about some of this stuff. There's some fucking whack jobs on the metros that are like. I mean, I don't know. Someone got stabbed the other day, like 2 on the same day, like on different metros. Just weird shit like that. I'm like, wow, like this place is
Kind of crazy.
Yeah.
Well, the reason why I don't is
But it's proper negative. Like
I usually see negative things, right? Yeah. And have so much control of my headspace of ignorance is truly bliss in the sense of I don't know. And the only thing that I can affect at this time is my clients right now, the people around me. And if I could give them as much positivity, as much knowledge, as much value, the world just becomes a better place.
Don't worry. So, okay, I second everything you just said. It's just literally the first 30 minutes of when I have coffee. That's just what the wife and I both choose to have on. Yeah. But shout out to Belen on fucking NBC.
Shout out.
My wife reached out to her and I got a shout out on my birthday.
Oh, nice.
They never do that. And and I have it recorded on my phone.
That's what's up.
With the captions on it and all of that. Yeah, so that's pretty cool. But I mean, I watch it for the weather more often than not. So yeah, shout out to Belen. That's why.
Shout out.
Just to literally see if I can go surf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you call it? So the coaching aspect of it, like, you stopped CrossFit because you found kettlebells. Like, how did
that was because of COVID.
Yeah. Oh.
Yeah. So there we go. That was how I got into doing my first ever kettlebell program. And again, coming from CrossFit.
Where did you find a kettlebell?
From the CrossFit gym.
Okay.
So what we did was we used the opportunity of having an empty gym for don't know how many months, emptying it, painting it. All the clients or all the members took home either a dumbbell and like a wall ball, a wild ball.
A wild ball.
Yeah. Or they took home like balls. Yeah, or they took home like you can do other shit with it, right?
Yeah.
Or they took home a kettlebell and an ab mat.
Okay.
So I would program for the kettlebell and the ab mat, and he would program for the dumbbell and the wall ball.
So you were still working?
Yeah, just to keep people going. It's like we don't know what's going to go on, and like people are going insane at home.
Yeah.
So I took home like some other bits of equipment. I took home like a 32 kg kettlebell, and then I actually looked up a strength program to do with my roommate, and we also kind of said like, well, shit, I don't just want to turn into a massive stoner and just like, I don't have to wake up until 2 o'clock when I have my first client. So what am I going to do all day? Like, so we literally flipped our alarms and we both started waking up at 6 a.m. And I've literally woken up at around 6 a.m. ever since then.
Wow.
So ever since 2020, March, whatever time. And me and my roommate, our birthdays are 1 day apart. And we both made a decision to like, have a cup of coffee, walk out to the garage, and we'll go swing kettlebells. And we did Simple and Sinister, which is 100 swings and 10 Turkish get-ups.
Is that it? 100 swings, 10 Turkish get-ups?
Yeah, it's done in a manner of like, so there's a simple standard and a sinister standard. The simple standard, they're both the same like format, it's just different weights.
Yeah.
So I'll probably butcher the girls, I don't know it exactly, but for the guys it's 32 kg. And then for the simple, and then for the sinister, it's 48 kg. And it's 100 one-arm swings, 50 each side, in sets of 10. So you just go back and forth. If you guys don't
understand that, for the sinister, that's basically a 100-pound one-handed kettlebell swing each side.
Not 100 pound. Oh, for the sinister, 106 pound.
Yeah.
Yeah, 106 pound, 100 reps, 50 each arm.
That is extremely hard if you guys never touched the kettlebell.
In 5 minutes.
Yeah.
That's the important part. So you're doing 20 every minute. So for those of you out there, like grab the kettlebell that you have available that you can do for, 10 to 15 to 20 swings and try and do 10 in one arm, put it down, shake it out, 10 in the other arm in the same minute, and then repeat that for 5 minutes to get to 100.
Yeah.
So I would do it multiple different ways to get there, right? So if it's your grip strength, you lower the reps a little bit. If it was just that you were blown, you would just up the time frame a little bit or don't put any clock. So quite often, a couple of days a week, I would put my clock on and turn it down and just go right hand, then he would go right hand, then I would go left hand, then he would go left hand. And we would just go until we checked off all of them. And then after that, you were supposed to do one get up on one arm in 1 minute, the other arm in the other minute, and then go back and forth for 10 minutes.
Is Turkish get-ups taught in CrossFit?
It's a movement, but it's think about Janet and Jim.
Okay. Got it.
Do you want to teach Janet how to do a Turkish get up, or do you want to teach her what we did in our workout today, like the first bit? So that's how I teach. I think it's really good for your clients. Like just do the very first one. So I teach them that.
So I don't teach Turkish get ups much because it'll take like 20 minutes.
Yeah, so just teach the first bit.
The first part.
Yeah,
I like
just
that.
Teach the first part. I think it's the best part. I think it's really good. And you teach it with the old you start here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do you do bottoms up?
No. Like do it with their shoe.
Okay.
And because you have to watch it, you got to pay attention. You got to see what's going on. And they do it like this the whole time.
Yeah.
And then they do it with the weight, and they're like, and it's like, now I need to do it with a straight arm.
Yeah.
Like, oh damn. Like,
yeah.
I didn't
the locked out shoulder.
so good for you.
It's hard for a lot of people.
Especially if they're probably older than us.
Yeah. No,
Or-
but
or
even
if they just do
even
this all
younger too.
If they do this all day, for sure.
Like
All
sometimes I'll just do a regular overhead press or an Arnold press, and a lot of they're just like stuck here, and I'm like, come on.
Yeah, that's why landmines are so good.
Because you have to.
Because you can press.
have to lock it
yeah,
out.
but you can press this way to start with, and you can then eventually get to
get
that
up there
bit too. That's why I like to use it.
I usually have a ton of people do a dead hang because they could do it straight down.
Yeah.
But I'm
It's always
confused.
a nice thing to do, but the grip strength is,
Yeah.
you know, if you've not done shit for a while, that's very tough.
But I'm confused why so many people could do a dead hang completely straight and not push it up straight. Because you're
yeah, but-
technically in the same position.
Yeah, you're in the same position, but it's being worked from two different angles, right?
Yeah.
Like you're gripping hold and gravity's pulling you down versus not only is gravity planting you onto the floor, you're pushing away up.
But I'll even do it with like a 2-pound kettlebell.
I know, but it's still two
Yeah.
totally different movements,
Yeah.
you know? It'd be like saying, why can you hang with straight arms but can't do a handstand against the wall with straight arms?
Touche.
Back to your CrossFit kettlebell
Yeah.
question. The other thing as well because eventually this story leads on to doing it for 3 months, building up to the point of being able to do 10 swings this arm, 10 swings that arm in the 5-minute window, then doing the get-ups just with the red one. And then I would go surf and then go coach for the people that wanted to train during COVID.
Yeah.
We'd be in a 5,000 square foot gym and we'd stand like, you know, here to the other side of the room
Wow.
apart. Well, because we were painting, the gym was upside down.
Yeah.
So the clients that still wanted to come in would come in.
Yeah.
And, you know, so we were just training behind closed doors.
Yeah.
But then I told you, right, I'd go back to the barbell once the gym's open again and we did some power cleans and I went from 275 to 285 or 290.
Yeah.
Having not touched anything more than a 70-pound weight.
Which is crazy.
Yeah.
Were you
we
shocked?
did get hold of a 106 kettlebell, but I barely got to doing I probably got to the point of doing maybe 50 or 70 swings of my 100 with two hands.
Yeah.
So I wasn't really using it, but...
Were you shocked when you
Oh,
cleaned
yeah.
that barbell?
I was like, whoa, I haven't been sore in 3 to 6 months and I've not felt that weight on me. So not only did it feel heavy coming up onto me, but it just flew up.
wow.
And that was just kind of the thing of like, the whole thing behind that program is he talks about the what the hell effect. And there's stories of him training like Arnold Schwarzenegger, but then also training ultramarathon runners, discus throwers, javelin throwers, long jumpers, sprinters. And they all do the same program, and they all get
What's his name again?
Pavel Satsulian.
Pavel Satsulian.
Yeah, it's
Yeah.
spelt like T-Sat.
Because I only know of him because so many people talk about him as
He's
the,
the guy,
godfather
he's
of
the
kettlebell.
guy. He brought I think he was at RKC before. He made Strong first.
Yeah.
He brought the kettlebell from Soviet land over here. I think he's Belarusian. He's from Belarus.
Okay.
Or Belarusian. But it has the what the hell effect. And it's kind of, I believe there's a little story, I hope I get this right, on the idea in which you're a 6-cylinder engine.
Okay.
You go to the gym and you were a bodybuilder and powerlifter, right? Most people go out with the idea of, I'm going to grow more cylinders. I'm going to try and be an 8-cylinder engine. His whole idea of learning how to do the kettlebell swing, in particular kettlebell swing, but obviously the get up too, and using your breath. It's very much...
Yes.
Yeah, so the whole idea of bracing and creating pressure and just inhaling through your nose, it's not about growing a 7th and an 8th cylinder. It's about using the other 4 cylinders. So you become more efficient. And I was just like, wow, that really works. So I was getting to the point of where I was doing this so often that I would do my 10 swings each arm. And then on my get-ups, like I said, I'd do them from the top so I didn't have to lay down twice.
Yeah.
I'd clean it, I'd press it, I'd go all the way down, all the way back up, swing, switch arms, clean it, press it, go all the way down, all the way back up, until I did all 10. And I would have done the swings and the get-ups with only breathing through my nose for the whole of like 15 minutes, 16 minutes.
Did you tape it?
No.
You just closed your mouth.
Yeah, or just told someone like, can't talk right now.
Yeah.
Yeah, you know, and I was just doing it like that. And
That's impressive.
Dude, it got me so fit. I thought
Yeah.
it was great. I was like, this is like I need to get back to that.
It's a superpower.
I couldn't do it right now. Yeah, I need to get back to it right now. But when you do something over and over and over again, and because it was 2 movements that were somewhat complementary, of course, I feel like you do need to do some other things. Throw in some push-ups, a squat, probably a pull-up for the dead hang situation, because otherwise you're doing a lot of just extension, you know.
Tell me what you feel about this real quick. The guy you met today at the gym who's running the ultra marathon, he runs like sometimes he'll put water in his mouth so he can't open it.
Oh, okay.
So you're just training.
Savage.
With just a full thing of water,
might
and you
try
can't
that.
swallow, and you can't open your mouth, obviously. And then he'd do it one time that where your mouth's taped, and he'll plug one nostril and just breathe out of one, and just train that one side, and then do the other side.
Wow, he goes that deep?
Deep.
Yeah. See, that's how you get ultra fit doing weird shit like that.
Well, the thing is, I've never heard of anything like that.
I've never heard of anyone doing that.
Anything. But you think about it, you're like, whoa, like if I could train both my nostrils and not breathe through my mouth, okay, how much better would it be if I could do one at a time?
I highly recommend like doing nasal breathing a lot. Like if you can do it, it's so good.
Oh, for sure.
It's really,
I just
really
can't
good.
do it a lot. Like I do it for my runs when I want to focus on my breathing.
Yeah.
Because you listen to Huberman at all?
Yeah.
So I just thought I had a deviated symptom because that's what people say, and I haven't been able to breathe.
He says bullshit, right?
Yeah, he says bullshit. He was like, it can be trained. Like your nose is cartilage. It is very malleable. Like it's the softest thing in our body. Like just try it every single day. Really focus on.
Yeah.
Like keep going, figure it out,
Yeah.
and like after 2 or 3 weeks of just trying to nasal breathe, like it started working. Like I started mouth taping at night. I didn't die. I thought I was gonna die.
Right, same.
You know, and then I started training with like a taped mouth, and be like, oh, okay. But
I've never trained with a tape mouth. Well, in fact, Bellfest.
Bellfest, you did.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's the first time I've done that.
it's cool.
But I mean, I'm disciplined enough to keep my lips shut.
Are you disciplined enough to not swallow the water?
No,
have to try it.
I think I just do it. Like I get too thirsty.
Oh, okay. Just
Like I still, because you can drink
Yeah.
and breathe. That's
Yeah,
the thing though.
Yeah.
So like if I'm doing that, then remember I don't do running like that long distance, so it's different.
You think you could
I'd be
do
drinking.
100 kettlebell swings with just like through your nose and a mouthful of water?
I could probably do it. Yeah, I mean,
try it.
I don't know. I just feel like it's too awkward. But
So did you fall in love with kettlebells after that? You're like, this is the new thing. This is what I'm gonna take all my energy and effort and
Yeah.
like focus on.
yeah, Instagram did its thing, but it was also, it had been a long time since I had done a strength program. So I had done I did a small squat program.
Small of. What is that?
There's a bench. There's all the powerlifting one, but
Okay.
you were squatting 4 days a week.
That's a lot.
So it
Sounds
was
like a lot.
It was like 4 9s, 5 7s, 7 5s, 10 3s,
Okay.
or 10 by 3, however you want to look at it. But they were all like start at 60% on all of them and add 5 pounds every week.
Wow.
So like I remember doing, I think I did like maybe 10 weeks of it. I started at 340 and finished at 385.
Wow.
And I failed 390 in it. When you watch it, I was like, I'm like so far up, and then I gave out, and I was like, no. I did it in an empty gym. That was why I failed that squat. But anyway, that was a long time ago. I've never squat that much since. But still, I did it in like 8 or 10 weeks. So that was the only other strength program I did. But from doing CrossFit for so long and doing all this really cool stuff, and you know, power cleaning, heavyweights, and this, that, and the other, and then going and doing such a simple movement with only that weight,
It's very simple.
and then coming back and being like, yo, I just did this. Like, I'd have to look back and see, like, I've snatched, like, my heaviest clean and jerk is 285,
That's solid.
I think, maybe 280. My heaviest snatch is 220, squat snatch. Power, maybe like 215 or 2 something like that. But never got the elusive 225 there. But just being able to do everything was so wild to me. But then I went and did that, and I was like, I'd kind of gotten over being sore. And here's the other thing. During COVID, that's when I started surfing.
Oh, you've never surfed before?
I'd never surfed before that. I'd only boogie boarded.
Wow.
So now I'm like,
So COVID did a lot
now
for
I'm
you.
a surfer. Oh, dude, I hate to say it. COVID was great.
I loved it.
I mean, it was cool.
I
Like,
learned so much. I mentioned a lot on the podcast, but
like getting your chance to do your own little bit of school if you chose to do it.
I read 50 books in 1 year, and I've never read more than I think 5 or 6 in a year.
I've never read 50. I don't think I've read 50 books.
Yeah.
I mean,
No, no.
probably since school.
So like
thing.
all I did is I
Definitely since
had, you know how you said you took like weights home. So I was training at UCLA at the time. And it was great because they gave you like workers' comp clients. So they got free 4 sessions, and they were injured or hurt, right? So it was my practice to just like do simple movements that could help people who have injuries.
Yeah.
And like that's a great place to start.
It is.
And once COVID hit, I had all these reps in because I'd probably get 30 sessions a week at like $18 an hour, which is
So that was when you started training.
that's when I started training.
Cool.
And we got home. I brought a 50-pound kettlebell home, like two 25-pound plates and a barbell, and all my roommates moved out. And so I just doing kettlebell swings, snatches, all this stuff, and then cleans with a barbell, and then I just read. No one else was home. So I just did that on repeat for months.
It's great. Yeah, it really is. Yeah, and that was one of the really cool things about kettlebell is that
you can do it anywhere.
Yeah, is that I'd always tell people like, oh, Jack, you've got a really good home gym. Like, what? I'm thinking about getting a barbell and a bench. Like, don't get a barbell and a bench.
Yeah.
Like, it's the worst. Like, you can't, if you're trying to bodybuild, like, you can't hit all the muscles you're trying to hit when you get, like, plates in a barbell. It's like, it's the wrong weight. You can't do shit.
Sure.
But people don't think about that. Unless you're like a prisoner, and that's like your prison mentality. We just do reps, type of thing.
Like, I feel like, what is the most important movement for you? Like, for anyone, if you had to choose one.
Well, for me, or for like, clients or like your average Joe.
Both.
Because like a Turkish get up for someone that can't fucking do it.
Yeah.
But I mean, for me, and I could start to bend your question and like, can I do a Turkish get up and throw in 10 push press at the top of it and then go back down? Or maybe it's like leg day and like you do Turkish get up to the top and then just do a gang of front squats and then go back down. Like you could do a whole week's program. You could start with 10 floor press. And then do a Turkish get up and come back down. Maybe I'll do this. Maybe I'm going to write a program that starts with a Turkish get up every single time.
Sounds great.
Because you could hit every single movement you want to do. It's just however you want to do it.
One movement.
Just start with the get up, and then it's on you racked.
Yeah.
And then away you go. But I mean, I think it's very important. I think it's important though to get up. If not that, a burpee.
Yeah. I think it's a kettlebell swing.
Yeah, I'm just thinking about what things could do to you. I feel like you always have to answer this question with more than one, because being able to hang, like if you were...
Grip strength, right?
Yeah, like if you had to be able to do something from like the age of 16 to 85, like what's going to serve you the best benefits? Like is it going to be a kettlebell swing or is it going to be a Turkish get up?
Well, I think it's kettlebell swing because you're working on your grip strength. You're moving that momentum, right? You're working your hamstrings. You're working your glutes. You're working your arms. Your arms are fired up. Your lower back, your posterior train's working. Yeah. The only thing that you're not hitting is really chest, and you could kind of squeeze your chest at the top.
But you're not. You're
Jack
not doing.
Just flexed his chest so hard to try to feel it.
But think about it, like there's no flexion in your knee. Like your hips are you're never gonna squat ever again. Like if you kettlebell swing all the way until you're 85 and never ever do a squat.
Yeah.
Like you're gonna struggle to go to the bathroom. I feel like at a certain point.
Yeah, like standing up would be hard.
Yeah, like you're not doing. You're never gonna. If you fall down, maybe you have enough chest to push yourself up, but you certainly probably can't lift up a leg.
You can't sit up.
There's no hip flexor or any movement there. Like so, there's a lot of.
I think you're changing my perspective on a Turkish get up because like I always thought they were hard and I like works your core, but then
think about what the rest of the body's doing, not just that arm.
Yeah,
like this, it starts with like a partial glute bridge off of one foot. Driving over onto that elbow and then being able to look up at the same time. So not only are we working with the brain too here, whereas
because for the swings you kind of could get lost. You could kind of get lost in the sauce.
Get lost in the sauce.
Wow.
Yeah, and so I think it's it's one of those things, and it's also like it's one cool goal that you can have with a client that doesn't actually involve just getting faster or getting stronger. It's like no one can fucking do them to start with, but once you unlock it, it's like that's really cool.
And it's working stability.
The only bad thing about it is that like no one else gives a shit unless they've done one, because nobody knows how hard they are,
and no one wants to.
Totally. There was a chick. What was her name? Jackie. I think Jackie Vasquez maybe, but Jackie, who did like a bottoms up 28 kg get. Wow. She makes me feel so small. It's so crazy.
That's impressive.
It was a world record.
If you guys don't know what bottoms up means, it is the bottom of the kettlebell
holding the handle
upside down
with the bell up here,
and it's way hard with a lightweight. It's super hard to do because you have to maintain that balance, and it's so easy to tip off each way.
If your kettlebell is too light, try pressing it that way up.
Yeah.
Unless it's way too heavy.
And it makes it more difficult.
So much more difficult. Yeah. And also shout out Icebox.
Oh yeah.
Peter, he is unbelievable at bottoms up stuff.
Yeah.
Wow. So impressive.
During COVID, is this how you found the kettlebell community? I'm kind of new to it.
Down the algorithm.
Yeah.
Yeah, Instagram is like so shit and so great for that, but so shit for so many other things.
Yeah.
But and business and all that.
Like how long has Bellfest been around?
Last September. Then,
that was the first time.
Then March, now October.
I was so shocked how many people came.
Yeah, I mean, we went from...
I met Jack at the Bellfest in Dallas. And
which was in March, and it's like
March.
May now.
Yeah. Oh, that wasn't that long ago.
No, really not long. It's like 8 weeks ago. Dude.
Oh, wow.
We go way back.
Kind of feels like a long time ago.
Yeah, it's because we're all a bunch of swingers.
And everyone, a bunch of swingers. And everyone was so nice. And everyone's savages, bro. I was really like impressed.
Because I think that most people, especially like, I felt like the first time
like most people were good at it.
First time I went there, I felt like everyone was a coach though. Like everyone's a personal trainer or everyone's, some form of that.
Yeah.
There's a lot of chicks that are there through Maddie and she has a huge following and, shout out to her for making that event.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's awesome because we're all there just to be a student or just to have fun, learn off another coach the same way that you've like enjoyed today and just working with another coach.
Yeah.
Like you literally did one exercise in today's programming and it was awful, but it was great.
It's great.
Like that was unbelievable. Like you did so many things in this short space of time. But it's a really cool community. It's something very unique. The
One
idea
thing
of
that
being able to do
it
it
shocked me
anywhere.
about is like a lot of people in fitness will either like woo the kettlebell, like, yeah, you do your kettlebell stuff, right? It was the first time in my fitness journey that I've seen so many people all about it. And there's so many forms of it. Like the classes were insane. There was like a mobility class. There was like
it's so versatile, right?
breath work. There was the juggling, which I've been obsessed with.
Yeah.
I don't know why I love it so much.
I mean, it is. It's fun. That's why. Like, so I love juggling a soccer ball.
Yeah.
I still do it from time to time. But like that trick scenario, and also it's kind of why I like surfing. Like I think Kelly Slater spoke about the wave being a blank canvas, and you just get to draw a picture, like draw lines.
Yeah,
it's like that's pretty cool because it's very like in the moment.
Yeah.
So like, there's not many times. I mean, today was one of them of where I've actually like we're gonna do this and do that, then do this, then do that. I just make it up as I go along most of the time.
When you work out?
No, when I do juggling.
Oh, when you juggling?
Yeah, I just make it up.
Yeah.
Yeah. But there's a few times where like, all right, now I'm going to try it. There's actually been a few times where I've done a workout like, because I hate running. So stationary cardio, 20 bike calories. I'll do like 10 pull-ups and then go on the rower or the skier. And then I'd go to the kettlebell and do tap, flip, catch, tap, flip, catch, tap, flip, catch.
Well,
tap,
the
flip,
coordination's
catch.
actually
like
extremely
20.
hard.
Doing it when you're really out of breath, true.
Yeah.
Like try and do it as like some cardio or like do an EMOM of where it's like, or just 10 rounds. And you get on the bike, you get off, you do tap, flip, tap, flip, tap, flip, tap, flip, or however else you're doing it. Or you can literally do it. So I was doing like a snatch, lowering it down, flipping it, catching it, snatch, lowering it down, flipping it, catching it, just doing things like that.
Just using it as one of the movements for an EMOM or something like that.
Yeah, or even do your lateral reach, flip, lateral reach, flip, and just do 10 of those. Do sets of them.
One thing that I get obsessed with is like I'll spend like 2-3 hours working on the same move until I get it.
Yeah.
Right. And like I'll get just sore because it's the same fucking move over and over.
One thing
again.
I hate about that is that because I bet you do one side way more than the other side.
No, I don't.
No, you try it as many times.
Try as many times.
But you always manage to get it with the right hand before your left hand.
Yeah. Well, that's why sometimes I try to do my left hand first.
Have you done that one with your left? Yeah.
Yeah.
Have you done it with your left?
Yeah, I've landed it like 2 or 3 times.
You got a few today.
Oh, on the right.
Yeah.
Yeah, on the right.
Yeah,
no, I've landed it a lot with my right though. Yeah. I've only landed 2 or 3 with my left.
He's also ripped his hand open, by the way.
Oh yeah, it was bleeding all over. I gave Jack the bloody kettlebell. He's like, dude. I was like, oh, I'm sorry. He was like, you really gonna give me this bloody kettlebell, bro?
And then the sweaty hat.
And the sweaty hat.
Not this one.
Not that one. Yeah. No, different one. I got 2 guys. I'm not wearing the sweaty one. Yeah. So, you weren't online coaching before COVID?
No, that was the start of it.
That was the start of it.
Let me think. Was I doing it to anyone else before then? No. So at that time, I was coaching out of my garage and coaching at the gym that was obviously closed, but we were painting it so it was slightly open. Yeah. So there were my clients there. But then I was writing...
What do you love about coaching?
Oh, I mean, I just love it. I just like being able to pass on the knowledge. And most of the shit that I love to do or I'm good at is always sporty. And so ever since not wanting to be in an office space and always wanting to be outside and then being competitive. Yeah. But I love like the idea of being able to show someone how to do something. Like I get such a buzz out of seeing someone who once came in and could only like do a step up and like a year later they're like
yeah.
And like there happens to be maybe 10 people. If it's in the CrossFit community, there's 10 people like, yeah, go on, Janet. You know? And that's awesome. That's so cool. But it's also the idea of, I have a lot of older clients, and for them to retire and then not be able to do shit afterwards is so
sad,
so depressing.
So sad.
So my parents had never weightlifted before COVID, and I got my parents a kettlebell from Amazon. Literally, it was like, hey, Jeff, can you send my parents a kettlebell? Jeff Bezos.
Yeah.
Send them a kettlebell. Got her doing swings. My mum couldn't do sit-ups unless she put her feet under the couch.
Wow.
And curled herself up, and she could do maybe 10. I mean, she could do 10, but she would be really struggling.
Yeah.
And then by the end of doing swings and things like that, she was able to, like, you know, just do regular sit-ups laying down. And now, fast forward, she has her own personal trainer, and she goes to a little boot camp like 4 days a week.
Beautiful.
And now they're retired, but it's so cool.
I started training my parents over Zoom, same way.
Yeah.
I told them to get
I
kettlebells
think I
from
saw
Amazon.
that on your Instagram recently. Yeah.
And they're strong, bro. They're 60.
Yeah.
They're doing
Yeah,
swings.
same. My
They're
parents are
doing
60.
cleans. They're
My dad's 66 and he can swing a 20 kg.
insane.
Yeah. He doesn't have one. I make him do it when he comes to my house.
So it sounds like you already knew the value for so long. Like for me, it didn't really click because I thought training I didn't know it was going to be what I wanted to do. And people kept asking me to like work out and train. And I was like, do I want to do this? And like, is it a cool job or is it anything like that? And it made me realize like we only have one body through this like lifetime, and so many people don't use it. And I just thought everyone knew everything about fitness when it's like a very small percentage of the population.
But that's the thing. It's all out there.
Yeah.
It's just...
That's what I'm saying. I was like, everyone has to know this.
There's a couple of things behind that, though, because it's the same way you were talking about how all of a sudden it's all new to you, and there's so much of it and so many people out there in terms of the kettlebell industry. But that's also how algorithms work these days, right? And you spend a lot of time on social media and things like that happen. But it's fitness is so different now than it was way back in the day. Like if you ask your parents about the gym, they'd just think of Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yeah.
Or if they spoke of fitness, it might have been a tennis player or them just going running or swimming or cycling, maybe. Or maybe a golfer. Like the generic old school stuff. Going to the gym and being a fitness person or athlete was not really anything for anyone unless they were an athlete. You know, it wasn't really that for anyone.
Yeah.
So now all of a sudden it's like, well, like I said, like I love the idea of coaching because you get to extend people's, you know, enjoyment of whatever life they've got left, or you give them more life left, which is super cool.
Yeah.
But then it's also fun, like, you know, it's like, hey, I can do this, and they think that's cool. Like, I'll teach you how to do that. Like, you know, and that's really fun. And then as you get older and you start coaching different ages, like it's really interesting. Like I've coached like U7 girls soccer.
Yeah.
I've also probably coached them like a little bit older, like, you know, doing bands and lunges and things like that.
How is training someone that young? Because, for example, my youngest client, I started him at 14, and my oldest is around like 75, 76. So that's like a pretty good age gap. But I feel like for the even younger...
Different if it's one-on-one, though. A lot of mine was like, it was like weight, or it was like resistance or cardio training or whatever. Strength and conditioning for the soccer team type of thing. So, you know, you have bleachers available and things like that.
Yeah.
So I didn't really have equipment for a lot of them. But... when I was at that gym, when I was in the college and training girls there, I mean, you just do, you know, box squats and things like that. Like, it's all, you don't stunt growth. Like, it's all, you just got to do proper movement. I mean, if they can do the movement, you know, perfect, great. Now, put some sand in them pockets, make them heavier, and then put, you know, a weight vest on them, make them a little bit heavier. Now make them hold some shit, see if their form changes. Now put the weight somewhere else. That's why a kettlebell's so great in terms of that.
Yeah, you can put it anywhere.
Like, picture this. I love this idea. Like a front rack, kettlebell front rack, and then doing a suitcase deadlift. Now, picture a mum and a kid and a shopping bag. Same shit, right?
Same shit.
It's like, but if you saw someone in a gym doing deadlifts like this, you'd be like, oh my God, he's going to hurt himself.
Yeah.
Or you might not say that, but someone else definitely out there on the internet would. Like, that is so bad. Like, look at your back picking up that sandbag. That is awful. But why would you try and move like a robot in a gym and then go and like move however you turn around and twist?
I always thought it was bad for the longest time until I got more educated on it.
Yeah, and you realize like, well, I just think of the time you're training is the effort that you put in there is to bulletproof your body so that you don't hurt yourself outside, you know, or allow you to do things outside. But that time in there should be hard or challenging so that when you go outside, you are more covered. There's no point, oh, I do weights. Cool, what'd you do? Sculpt yoga. You know, and you're lifting 5 7.5 pounds.
Oh, dude, that shit's kind of hard though. Have you done it?
It is tough, but then you go grab a box of wine and it's like, or a 30 pack of beer, and it's like, this is so heavy. It's like, I had multiple people that, granted, they're much older.
Yeah.
We just had our condo fumigated, and there's people that needed their plants moving off of their balcony, and they're like in their 70s,
and they can't move.
Like, it's really heavy. Be careful. And I'm just like, yeah, where do you want it?
Yeah.
It's like it's not heavy. It's like I lift 200-pound sandbag.
Yeah.
So cover your bases in terms of the heaviest moving day that you might do. That's relative to your age or whatever it is. Like fitness for life.
What makes you a good coach in the sense of you have the proof that you have the clients, you have done the thing, because there's so many trainers out here that I've experienced who can't like get business, who can't find enough people to make fitness training be the only source of their income.
I mean, it's tough, and it's multiple reasons really. I mean, I struggle at it too. Like, it's hard. You can go through all the analogies of you're in a red ocean already. Like, everyone else is out there doing the same thing. You need to go find the blue ocean of where there's no other killers out there doing all the same.
Sure.
And that's the idea of finding your own niche or whatever it may be. But
yeah, because objectively, we live in the most saturated fitness space, or one of them.
I mean, yeah, it is. But I also think that fitness is changing and doing things differently. And it's
When
just
you
about
said
think about what we did today.
Yeah.
If people saw us do that and did it more often, they would love to come do it, and it could just become a thing over time. And it's like, hey, we throw kettlebells to each other, and that's what we do. We do a little workout, and then we go do that, and this is our kettlebell jungle gym or whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, it can catch on. Like, you've seen those dumb videos where they're on the trampolines and everyone's like, ready, go,
Everyone loves the trampoline.
Yeah, and they're having so much fun, right? And they're loving it. But it's not building muscle. It ain't going to do stuff. But I mean, throwing a kettlebell, a weight around, you can get some training in and also have some fun with it. But in terms of
your specific characteristics,
well, it's funny, like even though the whole brand is getting jacked and all that, and you can definitely do it, but like, it's a lifestyle. And so I try to coach more people about their habits and the things that you do.
I love that.
Day in and day out.
What are some of the best? What are some of these habits that you're coaching them on?
Dude, sleep.
So
I mean, if you train anybody that's like within a 10-year age gap of us type of thing, like older or younger, like, and they go to bed after midnight, they ain't losing weight.
Yeah.
I mean, they can lose some if they change other things.
What's
drastically.
the reasoning?
I mean, it's called midnight for a reason. Right? Go to bed at 8, wake up at 4, but give or take. But if you're not getting enough sleep, that's normally the first thing. Like, people think they can go to bed at 12 o'clock and then wake up at 6 and do it all over again. It's like, oh, I'm fine, I feel great.
Yeah.
It's like, yeah, but you're taking years off your life. Like, it does a lot for you. And then if you are someone that goes to the gym 5 days a week, great. But if you're not sleeping enough, like, you're just killing yourself. It's not really, you're losing out a lot. Don't get me wrong, strength training is great, but like, you've got other holes in your bucket if you're not paying attention to them. Sleep is one, of course. Food is another one.
You eat a lot of whole foods as well. I feel like that's mostly what I eat.
So I have a chick that's done meal prepping. I was with her, Preppable Meals. She's based out of like Orange County. She used to rent out like a hotel kitchen and cook from like 1 till 5.
Wow.
Now she ships all over California, all over Nevada, all over Arizona.
That's awesome.
It's so sick. And
What's it called again?
Preppable Meals.
Preppable Meals.
Preppable, yeah. Prep by Kimmy. Unbelievable. And you can get 10, 15, 20. You can buy, as long as there's like a minimum order situation. But they're done fresh. They're cooked over the weekend. You get them on a Monday, pretty much in the morning. And then you've just got them fresh all the way through the week. So I do that for the most part. But even when since having her food, I kind of stopped eating a lot of other bullshit and crap. And then started realizing, oh, wait, I don't eat enough protein. And so then all of a sudden I'd start to not just have shakes. I'd be like, I'm going to start, cooking some burgers of this and that.
Yeah.
So I almost have like an 80-20 lifestyle of 80% is already pre-made, prepped by her. And then I get to eat whole foods on top of that. Yeah. Don't get me wrong. Like, there's still a gang of cake on the weekends.
For sure.
Friday through Sunday, I go hard.
Go hard.
Like 5 o'clock.
What's your go-to?
Like, I try not to, but like the family packs of Oreos.
You go hard.
I mean, over the weekend, more than half will go.
Wow.
So it'll be gone in 2 weekends.
That's impressive.
Well, there's 75 calories a go.
That's a lot.
So this is what I try and tell people. Like, go running, you'll burn 300 calories for 30 minutes.
Sure.
Have like 3 of those Oreos, and you're like well over halfway there 100%. To put it back on. And that was done in like 2 minutes.
Wow.
So when you think about how many calories you can put away. But it's also then playing a game. It's like, I love Denny's.
Love Denny's?
Denny's.
Okay. What do you love about Denny's?
Well, not only is it like the best like money to calorie situation. But you can go get like, you know, an omelet. You can switch out hash browns and have fruit. And it's like $12, if that. And you go get like 3-4 eggs. Yeah, it's so good.
And it's cheap.
And it's cheap.
Yeah.
Like in terms of the amount of calories you get. Like you could get 1,200 calories in terms of toast and eggs and, you know, omelet, whatnot. And it's all 1,200 calories and it only costs you like $12. That's pretty damn good.
Yeah.
So anyway, being mindful about not only having prep meals and then trying to have whole foods elsewhere. Yeah. But yeah, I basically crush sweets not on the weekdays.
Just on the weekends.
Exactly. Yeah. And I've done that probably for like the last 2 years and that really helps. It does work. I mean, there's times where you let go and do whatever, but it's really changed like my taste buds, I feel like.
Have you, I still pretty much do it often. The slow carb diet by Tim Ferriss. Have you heard of it?
Never followed any diet ever.
No. It's very similar to what you just said.
Yeah.
It's mostly protein and vegetables during the week. You don't eat a lot of carbs. Like you would do beans instead of carbs. And then on 1 or 2 days during the week or 2 days that you choose, you go absolutely ham.
Yeah.
Like you could get as much alcohol.
Just high carb, low carb days.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah, there's someone else does it, Ryan Fisher. I think he calls Earn Your Carbs.
Earn Your Carbs?
Yeah, I think he does it that way. But yeah, I think you only have to pay attention to carbs in terms of where you're at in your weight loss journey and if you are like a proper athlete. I mean, of course they're important, but like protein is the one thing that people are not doing.
Not enough.
So back to the habit situation, sleep, more importantly, protein, and then figure out how many calories you need to be having and don't have too many. For most people, don't have too many. For quite a few people, you need to have more, but definitely have some protein. Then there's plenty of rules on water. If you drink water, it does so many other things for you other than just hydrate you and, you know, make you feel healthy. Like it does help you fill up and keep all the metabolism going and, you know, help with digestion and all of that and just help regulate in between meals, you know, and don't drink your calories. That's an easy way that people fuck themselves up. Like that's an easy way to get another client about the time they're like going to Starbucks every day. It's like, hey, if you stop paying Starbucks $5 every day and pay me $5 every day, not only is it only $150 a month, but you'll lose weight immediately just from making that switch. Yeah. Because you're not going to be getting that
a good lead right there.
Sugary ass drink. That, and then I do know people that, you know, how many CrossFitters do you know that are really fit, really strong, but not in shape?
Personally? I mean...
Or have you seen it? Like you go into your average CrossFit gym, you see...
It's mostly powerlifters. They all look not in shape.
Well, yeah, because powerlifters aren't really trying to be in shape. They're just trying to get strong.
They're just trying to get
strong. You know? Whereas CrossFitters, whether they're just doing it for the sport or not, a lot of them are. It's their excuse that they're going to the gym, lifting weights, but they're well overweight.
There's a lot of CrossFitters that are well overweight.
Yeah. Yeah. But that's because they're doing a sport and they don't realize. But the other thing is you can do a desk job 9 to 5 and get 1,000 steps. Yeah. And then go do hard 1 hour. Your body doesn't want to do that. Like we're creatures that used to walk like 15 to like 25,000 steps a day. Literally.
And we're stuck.
Yeah, that's why. Then you go to CrossFit and you fucking do this. Yeah. No wonder you get injured. Like, you know, you got to...
Constantly move.
Yeah, it doesn't work that way. Yeah, so that makes a difference. Like I do try to go for a walk every so often. It's great that you can just walk to the gym. Yeah. Like it'd be nice to maybe have it a little bit longer.
Yeah, I mean, the we literally do like Wisdom Tree, this hike over here, and it takes 20, 30 minutes.
I'll have to look it up. Yeah. I'll remember it because it's a great name.
Wisdom Tree, all the way to Hollywood Sign, all the way to Griffith, and then Pizza. That's like the weekend sometimes.
How long is that run?
It's like 6-7 miles.
Oh, that's not bad.
Not bad. And it's like a great view of LA. Next time you're in this area, we'll do it. Yeah. It's beautiful, bro.
I'm never in this area, but I'll drive out here to come do it.
You come do it?
Yeah.
And then it could be carb day. You get your pizza at the end.
Oh, dude, it's always carb day. If we go to Denny's,
we can go to Denny's.
Get pancakes.
Pancakes. I'm more of a waffle guy.
Huh. Well, yeah, they do them. I mean, they're pretty good ones. But
so how did you start? Were those the main habits? And that's what makes you different than most coaching. Because like I don't know many coaches who do habit coaching.
But again, I think that's just maybe down to your algorithm. Because I mean, I think everybody tells them the basics. Like you need to eat more protein, you need to lift some weights, you need to go to sleep more often, you need to drink water.
Yeah.
You know, like,
pretty simple.
You know, and move regularly throughout the day if you can. And that's one thing I'm trying to do more often with a lot of other people as well is like, don't think that your gym session has to be an hour. Yeah. And then don't be guilty because it's only 30 minutes. Yeah. I do my cardio for like 20 to 30 minutes in the morning and then I go lift weights later on in the afternoon for 30 minutes again. Yeah. So I separate it.
You separate them.
Yeah, like I don't think you need to do it. And quite often it's like if I missed out
it's on probably better separating it too.
Yeah. I just think it's nicer. I don't mind. I like doing cardio to get my juices flowing. Yeah. Maybe make me feel a little bit hungrier. and then move on from that too. So
it wakes you up for sure. Movement in the morning.
Yeah, it feels great.
Yeah.
And it's nice to just get outside for a little bit too. But normally it is stationary cardio on the assault bike.
Yeah.
At the moment, I do this nasty interval.
Yeah.
So I've just been doing that.
What do you call it for getting jacked? What inspired you to start this brand, as well as like your stuff's organized from what I've looked at, dude. Like,
I need to get my website up. Like, I do have someone like working on it.
Okay.
So I need to maybe.
Because you're learning Facebook too. I don't see that many people on Facebook, and you kind of got it down.
I do it all through Instagram.
Oh,
it's just connected to it.
You connect it to everything.
It just goes across. You can get really intricate with it. You can use Business Suite if you've never been on that. I mean, you might get lost in it a little bit, but if you try it, I stopped using it. But if I'd stuck with it, it's really good. You can time all your posts and do all of that jazz.
Social media is hard.
So you can write it all out ahead of time and have it go to Instagram and Facebook at the same time, different times, all of that jazz. But otherwise, I just have my daily group in there.
Yeah,
and
the Daily Bell.
Yeah, the Daily Bell. And then I just have, the same thing on Instagram. So I post all through Instagram and then it just goes to Facebook too. But yeah, I mean, the brand getting jacked, like I said, came from when people get coached by me. They just used to kind of throw out like, oh, look, are we getting jacked today?
Yeah.
Like, and every so often I was like, well, actually, looking at that workout, you're going to be pretty fucking pumped up by the end of this one, because it would be like, maybe it was power cleans, bench press, or bench press and burpees. You can do some nasty, like, good proper pump workouts in CrossFit. Good proper
pump workout.
If you organize it properly.
Yeah.
And then I figured, I need to become a business, as a personal trainer. And that was, I was kind of playing around with the idea of like...
Because you have your own gym now, technically.
Well, I have the garage space. Yeah. But like I said, I do most people online. And then...
How was that transition? Like, was that mostly through COVID?
Yeah, so the ones through COVID were because they never came back to the gym space and they enjoyed it. Then they went from having a dumbbell and a kettlebell to then getting more a barbell, then getting an assault
And it's more
bike.
convenient for them as well.
Yeah, because they train whenever they want to train.
Yeah.
I just wrote the programming.
Yeah, and they have it all at home though. They don't need to go anywhere.
So I would write like 2 years, 2 years straight, like pretty much 5 days a week almost. Or sometimes I would write ahead and just let him catch up.
Yeah.
And I wrote all of his CrossFit workouts depending on what equipment he had available. And I still kind of do that to people. It's just I'm trying to get it more towards only kettlebells. And that guy is still with me and he only does kettlebells.
And why do you want to do only kettlebells?
The barrier to entry.
What do you mean?
You could put a kettlebell on this desk. You could put one under the desk. So there's no reason that you can't have one in this room. I mean, I can see like 3 or 4 in here right now.
Yeah.
So now I just eliminated a 15-minute car journey to go to the gym.
Sure.
That's a great reason right there.
Right there.
And you know how versatile it is. You can do all the different patterns, whether you're pushing, pulling, pressing, rowing, swinging, or hinging, lunging, step ups, squatting. You can do so many things with it, and it can literally be in your motherfucking living room all the time.
All the time.
And I mean, that's such a great reason. That, along with go to bed earlier, drink more water, eat more protein, and get up every once in a while.
Yeah.
Like all of those things together is such a simple recipe. And they tell you that you need to kind of niche down on one client, but everybody can do that.
Yeah.
Like that is like a 5-step process.
Why do you think it's so hard for people to do those simple things? Because objectively, from you and me, we've done them, and there's so many people in the world who don't.
It's accountability, right? So if we just want to hook up and we're like, all right, I'm going to tell you, like we both spoke about failing something earlier on, 275 on the bench press. We could hold each other accountable to try and figure out who gets there first.
Yeah.
That's the easy way. Start a competition and we can keep ourselves accountable.
Yeah.
So if you can create a community, it makes it easier, even if it's just 2 people.
How do you build that with an online client who doesn't have a community?
It's tough. But if they're doing something the same as someone else behind that wall is also doing, and you can maybe refer them a video or have a group chat of them together, like that does a great, a great piece right there. That's one thing about AI that it won't take away, the community situation.
Yeah.
But it's just, it's the easy barrier to entry. And I think it's the easy way to do it, or the least amount of friction. It's like, if you can't get to the gym, whether you can't drive, too far away, too expensive. All right, I'll buy you a kettlebell if needs be. But you can get one on Amazon and pay it monthly, however you want to do it, but you can bring the gym to you. And once you do that, now we just have to figure out how to get your other shit in order.
Sold, bro.
It's a very easy thing to do though, right? Like if you just...
You make it sound so simple.
It is, right, I know. And it's trying to explain that to other people so that they know, like, hey, so I just want you to write out... Answer these questions to me. What time do you go to bed? How many hours do you get a night? Like, write down what 10 of your meals have been over this next 2 weeks, write down all the meals you have, or write down 10 of the meals you have. I want you to drink X amount of water, and let's just keep doing that, and we'll stay there. And then if you do have a step counter, great, let's pay attention to that. And then you'll come back and you'll tell me that, like, oh, well, I mean, on WhatsApp, it showed that you were last seen at 2:30 a.m. Like, what were you doing at that time? Did you just go to the bathroom, or were you playing on Call of Duty or whatever you were doing?
Yeah.
So fix that to start with, and that will make a huge change there. Then we just kind of pay attention to protein. Protein and calories is all you need to pay attention to. Granted, you can get much healthier, but I can get you in good shape eating in and out. You just have to pay attention to what's coming in,
100%.
but also how much protein it is.
Yeah.
And then those two things right there will make a big difference. You start to weight train, you already know that makes a huge difference, because now you're trying to, stimulate your body a little bit. And change
Is this how you, I guess, like pitch clients, or like how do you get your leads?
Getting leads, I mean, that's a tough bit. Like, I need to throw more adverts out there type of thing. Let people know, like, hey, I'm welcome. Like, I can take as many of you on board as possible.
I guess for
it is easy.
I guess for the new trainers out there, the people who want to do what we are doing for a living, to help other people, to pass down skills and habits. What's their first steps? Like, how do they get to be able to do that?
Don't start online. You got to be a people person. You can't be a little keyboard warrior from behind it. Like, you can't look on social media and be like, I want to be like you. Like, I've ended up doing this because I got steered this way from COVID, and had someone that never came back to the gym and then wanted me to keep doing it with them. And then I thought, you know what? Like, I can kind of do this. And then I got into the habit of like, hey, Nate, I'm going on vacation. You can take a kettlebell from me, or better yet, you're going on vacation. I'll write you 3 workouts that you can do in your average hotel gym. You need 1 dumbbell, maybe a treadmill, or, dumbbell and sit-ups. You can do sit-ups and dumbbell snatches. Like, you can do so many easy things with the idea of CrossFit too.
Sure. Likewise
with their programming and the EMOMs and the AMRAPs. So you can train anybody with that idea. But in terms of a new person coming in, like, you need to understand what that workout's going to feel like. I've also, in CrossFit, I've done so many workouts that I know what it feels like to be out of breath in between deadlifts and pull-ups and whatever it is. There you go. So I think that I would tell them you got to be out in the fields. You got to be going, in the trenches. Stripes. Yeah, there you go. Earn your stripes. Exactly that. Yeah, it's reps.
Yeah.
You also learn as well, like, what type of person you like to train as well. And also maybe you learn how to bite your tongue.
Yeah. For the freedom aspect of it, I've just experienced it recently. Like, how is it choosing your schedule every single day and decide? You said you travel a lot. The ability to do that. Like, a lot of people don't have the ability because their job's like, oh no, you have to be here every week for every single week, Monday through Friday, and then you get your 9 days off.
I mean, it's awesome, but I'm in a very lucky position where my wife's a therapist, so she works from home too. So I'm also jealous that we can't bill insurance as personal trainers. Because when you work with insurances, she just like, here, this is what's available. And it's like, there's 3 people. So
there's a new rule that just came out for gyms that you could use some type of health insurance to do that. It came out recently.
Really?
Yeah. I think 6-7 months ago.
Because I mean, but that was one of the differences, is that she can be like, here you go, here's 40 hours of availability, and they all fill up, So, I mean, you can do that if you drop your price super low and do, as a trainer. But
then you're
it's
just
manual
exhausted.
labor. Like, it's a lot of work there. You want to give good quality.
It's a lot of attention too. Like, I don't know about you. Like, after
semi-private, that's why you can kind of
after 6 clients, my brain is kind of like gassed.
Yeah. So sometimes they're doing better if you can offer them 2 hours, or however much.
Yeah.
And just with a little bit, I know.
But the freedom aspect.
It's great. I love it. But I'm privileged because of my wife and that situation. But we both own our own businesses in that respect. Yeah. So it does allow you
What
to
does
do
owning your own business do for you? What do you like about it?
I mean, the fact that you get to pick your own. I'd much rather have a midweek break than a weekend break type of thing. Like, be around less people type of thing. Now that I'm a surfer dude.
We'll go surfing.
I mean, we'll definitely go surfing.
Yeah.
But being able to do that and kind of get out there early is great. But also, as a personal trainer too, like, there's generic crowds, or if you work in a gym and ever run classes, or like at a CrossFit gym, like, there's different crowds. The people that come at 5 and 6 a.m., They're getting different. In, they're out, they're going straight to fucking work.
Yeah.
They're doctors, they're nurses, they're whatever they are.
There's something different about the early morning crew, though.
Yeah, they're in there to get their shit done.
Yeah.
You know, they've got their life in order.
Yeah.
But then you get people who roll in at 9:30, 9:15, 10 o'clock.
Yeah.
You know, they're the mums maybe.
Yeah.
Or, you know, whatever. House dads. Whatever
Actors.
they are. Yeah, there you go. Exactly. Whatever it is. There's so many different variations or whatever neighborhood you're in. So you get a different vibe of class depending on what that is too as 100%.
Well. I hate night classes. I teach night classes on Monday. That's the only classes I teach at this like Helix gym. And people come in tired. They're just like grumpy. They're like, oh, we're doing this workout again.
Leave that shit at the door.
Yeah. I was like, come on, guys.
But in terms of your freedom, it's I mean, it's great, but it's a different type, right? Because there's people either want to work out that early or they want it's after the school traffic type thing. Like everybody has their own 9 to 5 schedule and kids. So sometimes, yes, you can find the right clients, but quite often you're working around what your average person's schedule is.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
On their lunch break,
sure.
After what your average person's, you know, day finishes or before it starts or when their kids go to school or whatever time, you know, type of thing like that.
What do you think is the future of this like Bellfest, of this kettlebell community? Like, I've just heard about it recently, but it hasn't been around that long.
International, worldwide. I mean, hopefully it comes West Coast at some point.
Yeah,
we are looking
West Coast some point.
It would be great, but
for the Bellfest.
But I know. Well, I mean, I keep asking Maddie like, can we do this? But I believe she was looking for a large turf area, obviously indoor in a gym, and competition kettlebells.
They don't have it.
They were the two hardest things to figure out.
Yeah.
I mean, I have a place that we can get not competition, but regular kettlebells from. SoCal Kettlebells.
Yeah. They're near you now.
Jeremy.
Yeah.
No. They're further south. They used to be near you.
They used to be near Santa Monica.
Yeah, and now he's down in like San Clemente or Carlsbad or something like that.
Do you like competition bells better?
So, if I could rewind 3 years ago, I would definitely get when I started 4 years ago, I would get a mixture. But if I was teaching somebody brand new, I would use competition bells.
Why?
Much more comfortable, easier to kind of flow with, move different directions in terms of bashing for the first few hundred reps that you go through, just learning. But I think they're just much more comfortable in the rack. Like for some people, like you've got clients that if you give them like the 8 kg cast iron one, it just sits right there.
Yeah.
Whereas you give them that nice big pink thing, it's much more comfortable.
And they feel like, wow,
this is big.
This is big.
Or they feel like, fuck, this thing's pink. I want to get up to the blue one.
Yeah.
Then you get to the blue one, but it feels the same. And that's a big difference. Whereas I've been through kettlebells in different brands and sent them back because they have big fat handles or sold them on to other people. And I keep the ones that feel nice. And so now I've just started to come into the realm of like, I think I found a company that I can get like competition kettlebells. I want to get
Which one do you like?
Revision Fitness. Yeah.
I like the smaller handles.
I think they're 33 mil.
Okay.
Yeah, which is the small.
I don't love the Kettlebell King handles. No. They're so thick.
What was the one I was using versus you were using today? I was using the TacFit, right?
The TacFit.
You had the, okay. Yeah. So these are, they're smaller. They're 33 mil versus 35 mil.
I love the feeling of it.
Yeah.
Yeah. And it's not a strength thing. Like I could flip the heavier 12 kg kettlebell way better than the 10.
Oh, yeah, cast iron. It's weighted differently.
No.
Oh, you're talking about the Kettlebell Kings and the...
Yeah, Kettlebell Kings versus TacFit.
Yeah. I mean, it makes a difference. And I've learned this. I just bought a couple kettlebells off of Amazon, and they weren't very good because they were weighted at the bottom. And they do the weird flip.
Yeah.
So disappointed. However, went to refund. Amazon were like, nah, you can keep them. So you can get free ones that way. But I mean, they're weighted pretty shitty.
Yeah.
But yeah, I prefer the competition, and I would tell people, like, from your kettlebell journey, do you know all the colors? You know all the colors, right?
I don't.
Really?
I think they're different. Like I see some black kettlebells like that are light or
they generic. Well, if they have any color coding on them, there is a color coding normally.
What is
in
it?
kgs? They normally go up in 4s.
Okay.
But I have seen on Kettlebell Kings they have like the 2s, like the 10 kg. But it's normally a lot of them are just slightly different shades.
Okay.
But 8 is a pink, 12 is a blue. Then you got a yellow, which is 16, which is 1 pood.
Okay.
Which is the Russian or the Soviet metric. You know what they were used for previously, kettlebells?
What?
Weighing like cattle and farm crop and things like that.
Really?
And I believe maybe balancing out ships.
Wow.
Yeah.
That's cool.
right?
That's super fucking cool.
Yeah. So the yellow 16 kg, 1 pood. Then you got the 20 kg purple, 44 pounds. Then you got the green one, which is 1.5 pood, which is 24 kg. Then you go to an orange one, which is 28 kg. And then you go to the 2 pood, which is 32 kg, red one.
Yeah.
Then it goes, I believe, grey, which is 36 kg, 80 pounds.
Damn.
Then it goes like another.
So it's pretty uniform throughout like brands.
Then it goes in for some of them and a lot of them. Then it goes blue at 40 kg, I think.
Well, blue is at 12.
Sorry, white. White. No, grey is 30. It's a different blue though.
Okay.
36 kg is grey. White is 40 kg. Silver is 44 kg. Gold's 48 kg. And they're all the competition weights.
Ah, the gold. Yeah. I was like, this
They're
kettlebell's
like
nice.
$380 each.
That's a lot.
Yeah, but I'd love a pair.
Why do you think kettlebells are so expensive versus dumbbells?
The pandemic.
I think so.
Or maybe Bellfest, who knows?
It could be.
But I mean, they were at one point from ETE, like they're a big manufacturer. They have the East Coast and West Coast out here, but they have some fat handles. But they every so often.
What's the brand you like again?
The one I like.
Yeah.
The one I'm gonna get, competition kettlebells. Right now, I have SoCal Kettlebells and another company called
SoCal Kettlebells does competition bells.
No, they're all cast iron. So right now I have all cast iron. I only have one competition, but I'm gonna get competition from pink to green.
Oh,
that's what I want to do.
It'll look sexy in the gym, bro.
It'll look really sexy in the gym. You gotta love the Skittles.
Yeah,
the Skittles.
What are you
so
most
good.
excited for in your life right now?
Waves.
Waiting
some waves to come. Nah, I mean, I'm excited for Bellfest.
Okay.
I can't wait to coach.
Congrats.
People.
Congrats.
Yeah, I'm really
Coach
stoked.
Jack.
Really stoked about that. I mean, all my family's back in England, so I'm always excited for whenever they're coming out this way.
Yeah.
I have a niece now, so that's pretty
Congrats.
cool. Whenever I'm excited to go back and see her. Yeah, I mean, there's plenty of. I mean, yeah, a lot of traveling. Next, we're going to Croatia, Portugal.
Yeah.
And I think I'm looking to do a certification at some point in the next, few weeks or
functional?
so.
Kettlebell training?
Yeah. What is it? Functional Get Fucked? FKT? Yeah. Functional Kettlebell Training. Yeah. I got fucked in LA.
Yeah.
Yeah. So probably looking to do that.
Let me know. I'd love to do it.
Yeah, I believe it's the end of either this month or next month or June or July. It's one of the J's.
If it's July, I could do it.
Yeah, either June or July at the end. I'm going to New York at some point.
Nice.
Go swing some heavy fucking bells with Tom.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Do you have any? I guess. Are you excited for anything business wise? Or are you kind of just living life, doing the thing?
Yeah, I mean, I'm always looking to take on new clients.
Yeah.
I'm excited. I love what I do, and I would love to be able to do more of it.
Yeah.
Like getting more people into the habit coaching and just swinging a kettlebell at home and getting through it.
Love that, bro.
I mean, yeah, it's such a great counterpart to everyone's life.
Sweet. I think we'll go ahead.
Go ahead. No. I think
we'll close it there, bro.
Let's do it.
I have to go to Boston, guys. So we'll have Jack back on.
What are you doing in Boston?
Have a wedding and then just enjoying it. Friend's wedding.
That's gonna be good fun.
Dude, thanks for coming on.
Fuck yeah,
Bells, where can everyone find you?
I'm getting jacked everywhere, but mainly Instagram. Also on YouTube, really. But I mean, it's all coming through Instagram. But
What's the Daily Bell? Because I found a lot of value in it.
So yeah, you find me _getting jacked, and then it's my broadcast channel, the Daily Bell.
What is it?
It is a 20 to 30 minute single kettlebell workout, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday,
Proof that
Friday.
you don't need a lot of equipment to get jacked.
Yeah, no, I'm just giving everybody one less excuse. It's like, there you go. There's a workout. Now you just have to find a kettlebell and make the 20 minutes to go do it.
It's free, guys.
Yeah, it is.
It doesn't take
it
that much.
It might either turn to $3 or it might turn to at least $3.99.
Heck yeah.
We'll do something like that.
Go check it out, guys, and we'll see you in the next one. Bye.